Hello and welcome to the RWBY and Beyond podcast. This is part 2 of our soundtrack, Jeff Williams' Circle Jerk. I am the hero Gotham deserves, but not the one it needs right now, Mediocrity 4.
I am somebody that you're probably glad won't be talking the whole time, thanks to the fact that we have 2 more people. I'm Dudewutthehec. And
Okay.
there's 2.
Okay, I'll go.
Sorry, I don't think we told. I don't think we chose it. I think we
didn't
forgot
choose
to
an
tell them
order.
that. Sorry, that awkward silence was our fault for once. First time ever that Media and I have been in charge of a gap of talking instead of just more talking.
Miracle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm
Introduce
Kitty.
yourself for the record.
I guess I'll go since I'm already talking. Hi, I'm Kitty-Kirishima, coming to you straight from hell. Seriously, it's 112 degrees over here.
Yeah,
And it's also called Sin City, so it fits.
It fits in no matter what sense you want to use, it works.
Yep.
And I am the man who has been blocked more on RWBY Republic than anybody else, Robert.
Literally for just
Yeah.
being smarter than everybody and not even being a dick at all.
Yeah, I don't know how many people have blocked me. I know at least one person did.
I'm a bigger dick than both of you, and I don't think I've been blocked yet, as far as I can
The
tell.
thing is, I'm not afraid to get political on people.
That's
it
true.
makes me very
That's
unpopular at parties.
Yeah, that's true. I'm pretty I'm literally registered as a moderate, and I've said this before, and I will say it again. I actually voted for Nora in the presidential election this last
Yeah.
year because I hated them both so much.
Everyone
Politically,
hated
nobody
them.
really ever hates me.
Yeah.
You guys
Oh,
are
man.
lucky.
Oh,
People
man.
like
My-
me too
my-
much.
Yeah. My next video gets really political because it's a political movie, so
Well, yeah.
it kind of comes with
Of course.
the thematic content.
Is this the
Anyway,
short-
we're not talking about Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. We're talking about the RWBY Volume 3 and 4 soundtracks.
Yeah, we're
Good plug.
stalling. We're stalling because we're starting with, unfortunately, the worst soundtrack.
That's some
Yeah,
good songs,
like-
though, at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah,
It's got
it's
some
like
good
saying the
songs.
worst. It's like saying the worst Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Like, there's no bad when it comes to Jeff Williams soundtracks. There's no such thing as a bad one, you know.
Yeah, they're good, but there does have to be a worse one, and Volume
Yeah.
3 is probably it.
Yeah. I'll admit to that.
Yeah, there's only one song that I really, really love on the soundtrack, and we'll get to that later. Starting us off is When It Falls, which is the Volume 3 opening, and as far as songs go, it's the weakest opening by a country mile, but you know, the visuals really picked it up, where Volume 1 and 2 were kind of lacking.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the big thing that I think about, though, with this song is that I guess the thing that it keeps coming to me with its themes and its lyrics is that I had it in my head. Time to Say Goodbye basically did it better and stuff like that. It signaled the change in tone better, even though Volume 2 didn't really have the change in tone that it was supposed to have. But yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. And actually, musically, I like the Volume 3 opener better than Volume 4's opener and better than Volume 2's opener, and nearly as much, not as much as Volume 1's, but actually musically, I really, really, really like this song. And it would have been such a better song, I think, if the Volume 2 intro didn't exist. Because like Robert said, it does a better job of doing what the Volume 3 opening does in a spot that doesn't make sense. So it kind of, well, though Media and I did talk last time about how I think Let's Just Live, which is the Volume 4 opener, was supposed to be the Volume 2 opener. Right? Is that correct? Did I get that right?
It was supposed to be a dance song.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
never mind. Well, that would have made sense though, because the problem is really the Volume 2 opener is more at fault than the Volume 3 opener, but it kind of makes the Volume 3 opener suffer more. If that
Yeah,
makes
and
sense.
as we said last time, Time to Say Goodbye is a good song. It's a really good song. It's one of the stronger songs on all the soundtracks. It just does not fit Volume 2 at all.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think
Yeah,
this
pretty
one,
much. I'll agree with that.
Yeah. This one fits its
Eh.
volume
I think
better.
I think Time to Say Goodbye should have been the Volume 3 opener.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because,
This almost
Well,
again,
hot.
like, When It Falls kind of fits the tone shift, but you gotta remember that tone shift didn't happen until over halfway through Volume 3.
Yeah, it almost should have been somewhere in between. Yeah, it almost should have been. I don't think it been used somewhere like at the end, or use it somewhere in between an episode, or
Use it during the Battle of Beacon episode.
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
when
that
it's
would've been
actually
cool.
when it's finally starting to fall.
That would be amazing. Yeah, so that would have bumped the song itself up a lot more, because I think I personally think musically it's really good. I love the intensity. It's definitely one of the more interesting I think, like, of this heavy rock songs. It's up there for me. It's definitely higher than some of the other ones on this one, and a lot of the other soundtracks. Too. So I think it's a shame, and you could say, like, oh, you can't judge it on that. Well, I think because the soundtrack to a show, you do have to judge it that way, and we do have to judge it in the context where it was used.
That's true. It is one of the songs that everyone, or most people I've talked to, say it has to grow on you for you to like it. And that was kind of true for me. Even though I like this kind of music, it's just like, what are you guys saying? And then, oh, now I get it. This is great.
Yeah, that's true. She is very loud, and you actually really lyrics more than most of the songs. Usually it's very easy to tell what Casey's saying. And this
Yeah.
one, the opening, which I kind of like because it's more intense than average, but it does make it hard to hear what the hell she's saying.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
a decent song, and it is good for the latter half of this volume. I guess it just doesn't really work as an opening, is what I was getting at there.
I think that's what we're all
Yeah.
kind of agreeing with
And
right now.
this is one of the, like, few songs. There's been a lot of songs in RWBY that, upon first listening or in the context of the episode, like, whatever. And then I hear the full version, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I dig it. This one, I think I liked. I think I liked the potential it had more than what we ended up getting. Because, like you said, dude, it is a musically interesting song. It does have a really good way to start off with that little piano riff.
Yeah, and a lot of people talk shit on the piano riff to the loud beginning, which I think call bullshit on, because I actually love that. But anyway.
Yeah, that's something that, like, Linkin Park did a lot of. And it's one of the things that made them interesting.
Yeah,
amongst all the new metal bullcrap that
yeah,
they were.
back
trying
when
to
people
be
actually
compared to.
respected Linkin Park.
Yeah, but the second verse, again, like, lyrically, the second verse is fine as well, but the flow from that first chorus, the "when it falls," and then going into the second chorus is just kind of jarring, and it really
That's
shows
true.
that Jeff Williams wrote it as an opening to be a minute and a
Yeah.
half long, and then, like, oh, now to add on to it to make it a full,
Well, in
however long
fairness-
it is, like 3.5, 4 minute song.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Although, in fairness, I have the same problem with the Volume 4 opening also, personally. So, not exactly the same problem, but a similar problem. And I've noticed that that's happened with... There's some weird issues like that with all of his intros except for the very first one, I think. Some to more degrees than others. This is the worst offender for sure, but there's some weird little breaks like that in all of his intros, I think, except for the very first one.
But yeah, again, like, I really love the way this song starts. Maybe red's like roses, maybe it's the pool of blood, the innocents will lay in it when in the end you failed to save them. Like, yeah, that's a really freaking killer line, pun unabashedly intended.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's I think if volume 2's intro didn't exist, this would have been better, or it would have been even better if they, like we said, use the volume 2 intro for this intro, and then use this more appropriately during the actual Fall of Beacon or something like that. Would have been way more powerful, and it would have made more sense, and I think it would have made the song just better, actually.
Yeah, I can
Instead
agree
of-
with that.
It would have had a better impact, because I remember when the opening was first released, It was like 2 weeks before Volume 3 started, and it got a lot of like negative backlash.
I mean,
People were just scared of the Cerberus syndrome, I think.
I do.
Yeah.
There was a lot of talk about, like I said, there's a lot of talk about the very, very beginning. I don't agree with that at all. I have no idea why people were bitching about that so much. I mean, this whole soundtrack is definitely the one that almost universally is the most disliked. So, you know, I think, and I think some of the hate is definitely undeserved, even if it's slightly weaker. Like, as a soundtrack, this soundtrack is still better than any of the seasons of RWBY on their own too. Let's be honest. Like we're being overly critical because Jeff's standard is very high. So this isn't bad. Like, this is still a really good song. It's just not as amazing or well placed as a lot of his other ones are. It doesn't work in every single way a song, lyrics, and soundtrack works the way, I don't know, Boop does, for example, as I explained to media last time. Hey, I actually convinced him. You guys weren't here, but he even said
I'm sure
that I partly convinced him.
Yeah.
Partly. I said partly. I said partly.
I would say that they had time to listen to the podcast, but it's only been like...
I always listen to it.
It's been a little over 24 hours since I uploaded it, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened.
But yeah, from When It Falls, you got I'm the One, which I'm not sure why this is track number 2. I would have thought it would be
I was about to say the same thing.
A little later in the soundtrack, because it came in episode 4.
Halfway through the volume.
Yeah, it came in episode 4 during the Coco Yatsuhashi Mercury Emerald fight. And this is kind of the opposite of When It Falls for me, in that I really hated this song in the context of that episode. Because I thought it was like Caffeine Part 2, and we all know my opinions of...
I knew it was coming! I knew it was coming!
But then it turns out that this is actually a duet with Mercury and Emerald, and it's actually really good
kicking
that way.
Coffee's ass.
Yeah. I think I'm the One is not a good name for this track. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
It's the Ballad of the Fleet-Footed Assassins.
Yeah, it's I'm the one
much.
almost. I keep forgetting that it's not Weiss's song. Like that's what I was gonna say. Is like I thought this was It's My Turn for a second, because I don't. Most of the time I was.
Which you would think, think is track number 2, because it premiered in the very first episode.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
yeah, exactly.
If you base it on that and the fact that I don't listen to soundtracks in a row most of the time, I have like a RWBY rock playlist that just has all the soundtrack songs. I just listen to all of them like at random. I didn't expect this one to be the next one. I clicked on it, read the lyrics, like, oh, wait a minute, I'm thinking of the wrong song. But it's not my favorite, but I do think it works well for these characters.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. I like it. I like it more than I like When It Falls, but it's still not, I'm still not like in love with it. It gets pretty mushed mouth, and it does kind of turn into like generic heavy metal type.
Yeah, see, that's my
deal.
problem. I don't actually like musically. It's one of my least favorite songs because it's not as complex or interesting as a lot of his other, rock songs or his pop, a lot of the other stuff that Jeff does. Don't have the same. It's too fast, so it doesn't have that same really good, catchy beat that made Caffeine so good. I know the subject is worse, and the lyrics aren't as good. The lyrics are better here on this song, and it makes the song is better in context, also than Caffeine. But as like just a headbanging rock song. Caffeine musically is much better than this, because also if you're a metalhead, this isn't heavy enough. So it's this weird like faux metal, whereas Caffeine's just like a loud, like almost like a Limp Bizkit rock song, but with less rapping, which I think works. Whereas this is like kind of faux metal, and I don't like it as much.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think the main thing that I like about I'm the One is just where it's placed in the series, because it's like it's one of the first times where the song playing during a fight scene actually like matches to what's going on in the actual fight, other than, you know, unlike Die and Red Like Roses Part 2 where they were in the series.
That is very true.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I like Red Like Roses Part 2 where it was used, but I agree this does, as a whole, the lyrics of Red Like Roses. Well, actually, no, those don't fit either. So you're right. This actually fits the scene best of the songs. That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, because there are lyrics that aren't just specific to Mercury and Emerald. It's specific to Mercury and Emerald beating the shit out of Coco and Yatsuhashi.
Yeah, there's a what was it? Your girlfriend's purse won't help you win this duel.
You're looking tall. You're looking tough. I'm sorry,
you're
dude,
looking
it's not enough.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend's purse won't help you win this duel. The bigger they are, the more that they bleed, the deeper the scars that won't heal. Buckets of pain as they lie there in shame, knowing how true defeat feels. Because that was kind of the whole purpose of that fight, was just taking the piss out of these characters that mostly the fandom thought were like unstoppable.
I mean, they also picked the worst two people to go into that fight.
As far as retcons go, it was one of the more. Yes. Because let's be honest, this song and this scene are really just a big ass retcon.
Well, Coco's the power of Coco's bullets are retconned really hard in Volume 3, for the better.
Yeah. Oh
yeah, definitely.
In that one single bullet was able to cut a Nevermore in half in Volume 2.
The tree was still there.
Yeah.
Whereas a tree is like indestructible.
Now it's only good for mowing grass. For mowing a lawn.
Yeah, it's true. It can mow a lawn though. It mows a mean lawn.
Although that is a really cool imagery. I have to hand it to
Coco better get
that.
herself a beat up old Toyota pickup truck. She's got a good service ready to go. I don't know what they drive where you guys live, but I live in Southern
California. Yeah, we just have push mowers here in St. Louis.
in the good
At
old
least
Midwest.
you guys have grass.
He didn't get that.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We have dirt.
Over in Nevada, you don't have lawn mowers. You don't have people who mow your lawn because you don't have lawns to mow.
It's true. It's really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a cactus. That's something. I'm not lying. I have cactuses in my backyard.
Do you have a guy who takes care of your cactus, or what?
Yeah, they take care of themselves.
Okay, that's true. That's not the thing about cacti.
Yep.
Drink
That's why they
cactus
survive.
juice. Do you drink cactus juice?
I eat cactus. I'm Mexican, so.
Oh no! I mean, nopales are good. Like they are definitely good, and apparently they're like super good for you. But I mean, like, nothing's quenchier than cactus juice.
You're watching too much Avatar.
Yep.
It'll quench you.
Oh god.
All right, so maybe we should move on to the next.
Is that all we have to say about I'm the One?
I think so.
Not to be mistaken with our next track, It's My Turn.
Oh,
I thought you were
this
gonna say
song.
not to. Thought you were gonna say not to be mistaken with Sokka's cactus juice rant, but okay.
Yeah.
God, that show's so good. When can we do an Avatar podcast? This is the Ruby and Beyond podcast.
I
would
would
love to do
honestly
that
have to
sometime.
rewatch the series. It's been too long.
What's a good excuse to
Same
rewatch the
here.
series?
Well,
There he
the
is.
next series I'm rewatching, like whenever I'm caught up with JoJo's, I'm gonna jump in and rewatch Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, that's another good
Oh,
one.
that's
I
good.
will do. I do a podcast on that.
That
one
is
for
not
sure.
a bad idea, yeah.
Let's talk about Mark Hamill. Some more about Mark Hamill's voice acting skills.
Yeah,
Okay, so anyway.
it'll give me an excuse to do all my impersonations of Batman villains, which I have impersonations of like every Batman villain.
I want to hear
not
these.
good ones, not good ones, mind you. But they're I try.
They exist.
No, it's my turn. God, that's such a weird name for a song.
I know.
This is the song that plays during the RWBY Auburn fight.
Which doesn't fit in that context either, to be honest, but it's a
Yeah.
good song in and of itself.
Yeah,
Thanks for the context later on.
I was a little disappointed, but then it turned out to be one of my favorite songs.
It's a good song. My kind of problem with it, again, it's a decent generic rock song, but it's like the rock song made as awesome as the ones in other volumes, in my opinion. Especially when you get 2 Weiss songs in one volume, there's no way you're not going to compare the two, and I definitely think that Mirror Mirror Part 2 is better than this one, especially in its use for especially in the trilogy. Now that we have the 3, I feel like that Mirror Mirror Part 2 is better as a Weiss.
See, I'm kind of the
Yeah.
opposite
I feel like
opinion.
Really?
Yeah, I like It's My Turn quite a bit better than Mirror Mirror Part 2.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, the point still stands of if you're going to compare the two, one's definitely going to fall by the wayside for compared to whichever one you prefer, I think. Because I clearly prefer one, you guys very clearly prefer the other, and there's definitely a dichotomy.
Well, for me, it's kind of the branding thing. It's like Mirror Mirror is one of my absolute favorite Jeff Williams songs, and having Mirror Mirror Part 2 sort of invokes a certain quality, a certain level of quality that Mirror Mirror Part 2 doesn't. So It's My Turn is probably able to get away with a lot more because it's not like trying to compare itself to Mirror Mirror Part 1. It's trying to be kind of its own Weiss song.
I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I think part of the problem is that it's kind of saying some of the same things. Mirror Mirror Part 3, This Life Is Mine. This Life Is Mine. It's kind of saying
you're
that,
kind of breaking
This
up
Life
there.
Is Mine. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
It's kind of saying the same thing that This Life Is Mine is saying, but not in the right place and not as well.
I'm not gonna lie, I know some people thought it was a Blake song at first.
Interesting.
Well, Blake
They
does a
wanted it
lot
to
more
be.
during that scene than Weiss does.
That's
Yeah, and
Although-
That's probably why.
Actually,
because it talks about
really-
being held down by someone, so they thought, oh, this must be,
Yeah, I
alluding
see
to the
that
White Fang
logic,
and
but not-
Adam. And then it's like, oh, wait a minute, it's Weiss. Never mind.
yeah. Now that I said that out loud, I do realize that it was Weiss that got in the final combo pretty much with the ice ball.
Yeah.
I just don't think this
Mhm.
this makes sense here where it is because she's
Because
still
of how
not,
the volume ends.
because of how the volume ends. It's like this is kind of, you know what the song is like? This song is like Weiss in Volume 1, where they keep teasing that she's trying to actually be a better person, and then she keeps going back to being a douchebag. That's kind of what this song is. They're teasing that she's gonna rebel against the father, and then she really doesn't at all. I feel like this was almost like implying that she was gonna do more, and I was actually fine with the way Weiss was in Volume 3, and that really she was still trying to rely on her dad, even though she kind of was trying not to, but at the end she just went back to him, and then she really broke away in Volume 4. That makes sense, but this song is almost like teasing more that she wasn't going to do that, and I don't like that. That's kind of why I have a problem with this song. Musically, I like it a decent amount, and I do listen to it, but especially now with Volume 4 and This Life Is Mine being so much better in every way, like lyrically, for the character, in the context, all of those things better. Makes me like this song less.
Yeah, I kind of see what you mean there. It's kind of a letdown when you consider the entirety of the volume. Although, I guess within the context of the episode and what's going on, which is Weiss trying to distance herself from her father, it kind of works, but just how the volume ends, I can kind of see how that's frustrating.
And to compare Mirror Mirror Part 2 in this volume makes way more sense. Whether you like it more as a song or not, lyrically, it makes way more sense in its context. Because she's not actually rebelling, she's still in that in conflict. She's still in that middle part of of conflict. So it makes way more sense. And that's why I like it more, because as a whole, Mirror Mirror Parts 1, 2, and Part 3, which is It's My Turn, or not It's My Turn, sorry. This Life Is Mine fit together better. So even if you don't like this one musically as much as Mirror Mirror Part 1, I think Mirror Mirror Part 2 lyrically makes way more sense for Weiss's character and her development. And I'll stop ranting about this now, sorry.
Kind of fun. This song kind of gave me a theory that her dad has been we all know her dad has been calling her, so I thought maybe she's had that on her mind when she was fighting, and that's the reason for putting that song there. Like, hey, this is what Weiss is dealing with in the background. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we can assume that definitely, like, the call that we saw in the episode was not the first time at all. Like, I'm sure it was definitely implied that he's been calling her.
And I also kind of feel like Weiss, when she fights, that's her letting loose, kind of. So that's the only way I can rationalize
She pretends all of her opponents are her dad.
It's funny because
she
doesn't actually fight.
Her
she just
fucking strongest summon.
Well, because she doesn't have to.
Because of Dad.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see that. So, yeah, I guess like I said, within the context of the episode, like it kind of works, but I guess bigger picture, it's kind of like, dang it, bummer. But yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a good way to put it. It's like a bit of a bummer. Like, this isn't what actually happens, which ends up being fine. I think the way they ended up doing it works much better with the way she finally did rebel in Volume 4. I think that works much better. She's one of the best things done in Volume 4. But
definitely,
and we'll get to that in the next soundtrack anyway. So I don't know. Do you want to move on to the next one?
The next one is
the worst song Jeff has ever put on. Musically the worst song.
His voice is not suited to this kind of song.
It's also just a bad song.
It's okay. It's not even his voice that bugs me. It's the, again, like I kind of expressed this a little bit in the last podcast. It's the production. Like, there's just random noises crammed into the song. Like, it never gives itself a second to breathe.
I feel like the beat's too loud.
Yeah, it's not Fall in Love with You, which is another just really... Oh, that's probably the worst name for a song I've ever heard.
Yeah. I mean, and
not
also
Fall
just...
in Love with You.
This is the closest thing to an actually genuinely bad song that Jeff has put on any of the soundtracks. It's just generic, bland pop with no personality whatsoever. It doesn't have a good enough beat. It's not as groovy as his other pop songs or techno enough to just be a simple dance beat. It's lyrically, it's bland as hell. Bumblebee is lyrically, honestly. And at least Bumblebee is a much better song musically. Way better song musically. And it's still not the best.
Yep.
Definitely. And I'm not a Black Sun hater. Actually, to be honest, we'll talk about in the next volume how I might actually Black Sun now just because of how good Like Morning Follows Night is.
Yes.
We'll get to that. But this fits Sun at all. Like, I know he's a positive. Anybody who is represented by generic rock music, it's Sun Wukong, okay? He is the quintessence. He's got a fucking wallet chain and abs and spiky hair, for crying out loud. Nobody deserves a generic rock song more than Sun, okay?
Gunchucks.
Gunchucks and all that whole thing. Right?
Kind of funny because isn't Team Sun like visually based on like a really generic K-pop band or something like that?
Yeah, they're based on.
I still can't believe Neptune is based on top. I'm not even a K-pop fan, but I know that's like one of the more famous fangirls go crazy over the guy. I'm like, really? The dorkiest one is
Yeah. And, well,
What?
the other really famous one is the one that Scarlet's based on.
G-Dragon, I think.
Yeah, G-Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only
Yeah.
know these things because
basically.
I always read comments when I watch videos.
And my sister's a huge K-pop fan. Even though she likes what's the name of the band? The one that's half Chinese, half Korean. She likes that one better than Big Bang. She's
God.
gonna hate me. She's gonna hate me for not
Super
knowing.
Junior.
No, not Super
No?
Junior. Oh, that might be
Like-
one of them, but
I don't know. I don't listen to enough. I don't.
yeah, I know. I
don't
don't
fucking
really
know.
either. Anyway, this song is just—it's so generic. It doesn't fit with him at all, in my opinion.
I mean, admittedly, even the lyrics don't really allude
Yeah, the lyrics
to
are
them either.
are EXO. She likes EXO. That's the one.
Also-
yeah, those
also,
guys are good. I think
Um,
I've heard a few songs.
add Michael Jackson and Stevie Wonder to the list of real life people that apparently exist in Remnant.
That's right.
Like PYT.
PYT, my Sharia Moore.
That's French though, so
No, my Sharia Moore.
it's still
that's Stevie
French.
Wonder, I think.
I think.
Maybe a little.
I had to
bit
fact
of
check
both,
myself.
But I mean, he
I
was.
just kind of
Yeah,
saw
he's
it
calling
as
her French because her name is French. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can I just read the chorus real quick? What am I supposed to do? Just sit here and not fall in love with you? Can I do anything to conceal it? Can
Yeah,
I lock
it
up
is.
my heart and not feel
Oh
it?
God!
Try to hide from the fact that there's no turning back. I'm in love.
Conceal,
That-
don't feel.
That doesn't even sound. that doesn't even sound like. That doesn't even sound like Sun. You know what I mean? Like Sun
Yeah.
would be like cocky, like confident, like yo, what's up, girl? You know, that's
Sun has never had
I
a
mean, that's what he
problem.
was doing when that song was playing too. Like, hey,
That's the thing. Yeah, exactly.
He has never tried to conceal how he feels.
Yeah,
he's not Elsa.
exactly.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
dude,
true.
I'm sorry.
Out of everybody in the show,
It's true.
that's true. He has been the least concealing of his
Subtle.
feelings for somebody out of everybody. It was obviously it's very obvious that Piero loves Jean. It's very obvious that Nora loves Ren, but they like hid it forever, both of them, right? And
Yeah.
Nora actually hasn't even technically done anything to really confess it yet. So Sun has been open the whole time. Yo, Blake, you want to go out with me? Yo, Blake, go to the dance with me. All this shit, right? He's very open
Yeah.
about it. So I think
Which is one of the things people despise about him for some dumb reason.
I don't
but,
understand that.
Salty ass fucking people, I swear.
I've been a
Yeah, exactly.
Why is everyone obsessed with lesbians?
Kinks, that's why.
I said this before. Years, and a big reason for that is I think Sun deserves better than Blake in a lot of ways because he's too good for her, and I like Sun quite a lot. Also, I'm a pretty big Michael Jones fan, but you know,
Hey, Michael is
so many
amazing.
people are going to be
Yeah.
triggered by that.
I think we should stop now before we just keep shitting on this song.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It's not great. It's not great.
The next one is kind of great, though.
The next
Yep.
one is the most interesting song.
I actually like it a lot, and apologies for being critical. We love you. This, which we hope he does. Jeff is amazing. I love Jeff so much. It's bad for him. It's bad by his standards. That's what we mean to say. But we're not gonna lie about it. Anyway, yeah, Neon is. I actually like Neon a lot.
Mm-hmm. I sing this one a lot.
Because it's one of the,
Because it's just so good.
it's so catchy. It does have that like it's got that like it's not like a super important song, but it manages to be much more unique than Not Fall in Love with You is. It's, to me, it's actually the second most unique song he's written musically.
I'd say it is the most
As I
unique
said
song.
last podcast.
Yeah.
I would still give Boop the title just because it's a show tune song and it's literally the only show tune song, whereas this one is a
It's a techno jazz mashup.
It's a techno
And
pop.
Which
it
is-
works
Well, it's-
kind of
Stuff I
good.
love.
It's two genres they don't really go together that well, but he does it about as good as I could freaking imagine anybody doing it.
I mean, the main like hook is really catchy. Like, I think that works really well.
It's also really short. It's less than
It's
3
too
minutes
short.
long.
That's actually one of my problems with it. Is he doesn't.
Well,
repeat
that's just kind of comes with the techno territory, I guess. I know
I
jazz
still
songs
think
tend to
he
be
could
pretty
use-
long.
He could use. Well, it depends on the genre of jazz, but some jazz songs can be pretty quick actually. But like if you do all the solos and shit and stuff like that, then they're gonna be really long.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the lyrics are nothing super amazing, but I think the chorus is catchy. I love the hook is super catchy, and it's a cool little style that like it's overall works. I don't think he pulls this unique song off as well as he pulls Boop off, but it's still really fun. And this is actually for me one of the stronger tracks on this soundtrack because of its uniqueness, and it stands out and it's catchy as hell. Whereas a lot of these songs really aren't that catchy on this soundtrack. Whereas volumes 1 and 2, you actually get some pretty catchy stuff on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually my second favorite song on the soundtrack. And I like jazz. I'm trying to get more into jazz as of late. And again, like, it's not even so much that it's catchy. Casey Lee just sells it.
Yeah, Casey deserves mad props for this one, definitely. She did great.
Yeah, she does. I mean, she helps songs quite a lot of the time. Her performances. I mean, keep in mind, what was she, 14 or 15 when she first recorded RWBY song?
15.
15, yeah.
Holy hell, man! God damn, you know what I was doing when I was 15? Fucking nothing. Okay, absolutely nothing. That's crazy that she's that talented. Anyway, but yeah, she does sell like the kind of cocky bitchiness really well of the character. She gets
Or at least of the persona that Neon put on.
The
Mhm.
persona. Yeah, exactly. Like, now I actually kind of want to see Neon. Of all the throwaway characters they've done, actually, Team Funky is one that I do want to see again. Much more than
I'll agree with that one.
Much more than I would like to see Coffee again. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We need to see the other two.
I just want to see the other half of Team Funky.
Yeah, I want to see their band.
Get their names,
Yeah.
looks, and weapons. Because yeah, I have my own ideas for the two
One of them
other members
better
of
be
Team
a
Funky.
fucking drummer. One of them better be a drummer.
Yeah.
They need a
Fingers
guitar
crossed.
player. They need a guitar player and a drummer.
That's what I gave them.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Great minds.
Battle
great
Axe
minds,
Buzzsaw guitar. That's all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say.
Great minds think alike.
Nice.
Like media.
And also the name's
Anyway,
a pun. I rest my case.
Do we want to go the next one? Just because there's not a ton to talk about with that one.
It's just a fun song, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a fun song.
Mhm.
You want to go to Mirror Mirror Part 2? Because
Yes.
we're definitely in disagreement about this. And I actually like
It
this one
didn't.
quite a
Okay,
lot.
so my kind of dislike of the song didn't really hit home until I found one of those mashups that it went straight from Mirror Mirror Part 1 to Part 2. And it just didn't work.
So it doesn't work as a part 2.
Yeah, whereas there's lots of versions of like Red Like Roses Part 1 and Part 2 combined, like go one to the other, or having the guitar riff and the players and pieces fight in between, and all that really works well. There's not the two parts of Mirror Mirror don't really fit like that
Are you talking musically or lyrically?
musically.
Yeah.
Because I will agree with you on that, but I don't. Lyrically, it does. So you're not wrong.
Well,
You're not
yeah,
wrong.
and lyrically, we talked about this last time when we were talking about Mirror Mirror Part 1, is in that Mirror Mirror, Mirror Mirror Part 2, and This Life Is Mine kind of form the 3 stages of Weiss's character arc.
Yeah. So I agree with you on the musically part. I think, you know what it really is it would have been better if he didn't title it Mirror Mirror Part 2. He titled it something differently, and then it was just the 3 parts of Weiss's character arc. That would have worked better, I think. Because you're right, it doesn't flow musically between Mirror Mirror Part 2 at all. Really musically, none of them flow well together, but lyrically they all flow brilliantly together. So that's why I like this one so much. And actually, musically, I like it a decent amount. It's not the best because the chorus is a little bit too predictable. It's still good, but the melody is a bit too predictable for me. But I still think it works. Like, it's still a good, like, decent ballad song overall, and it's I mean, it's not.
You broke up.
Yeah.
Sorry, you cut out there, man.
He gone.
Did he DC?
No.
Well, we'll catch him up. I'll try to.
Yeah.
I don't like this one because it's boring as fuck. I messed up.
It does have its like kind of pathos where it starts off very much in kind of the same solar spirit she was in with Mirror Mirror Part 1, and then it's like by the end it's like, no, I can change, I can make myself better.
I don't know, I always end up skipping it. It is a good song lyrically and everything. It's just I don't know why.
It's not why you listen to music.
I do like the chorus. Like looking at the chorus, I think the chorus kind of strikes a chord with me. The some believe in fairy tales and the ghosts that they can't see. I know that I could do so much if I could just believe in me. Mirror, mirror, tell me something. Can I stop my fall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I like the lyrics. I just can't get into it.
You back, dude?
And then
Yes, I'm back. Sorry.
Yeah, and then at the end, like, I think I might change it all instead of. See, that really shows pathos for Weiss. Again, like, all my complaints are just musically. It doesn't fit well with the original Mirror Mirror, because the original Mirror Mirror is damn near perfect.
Yeah. No,
yes.
No, I agree with you. I think musically, it's definitely weaker than Mirror Mirror Parts 1 and 3 for sure. It's weaker than both. I mean, so I guess we're not as much disagreement as I originally thought, because we both agree we both agree on the issues and both agree on what it's good at. I guess you just are placing a higher priority on the music here, and I'm placing a higher priority on the lyrics here, and that's really it.
Again, it's the branding thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad. I prefer that the lyrics make sense than the music fit, though. To be honest, for the purpose of Weiss, I prefer that the lyrics make sense.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I would rather the lyrics work and the music not work than the music work and the lyrics not work in this context. So that's why I'm good with it. But I will say overall, it's not my favorite, and it's still the weakest of the Mirror Mirror tracks. Even though lyrically, I would say it's better than Mirror Mirror Part 1, just because there's so little in Mirror Mirror Part 1. But that's only lyrically.
Yeah, I do kind of agree that this, kind of with what Kitty was saying, that this song is just kind of, it did well as a background song, like for that sing, and when we got that chorus in that sing, it was a good one, just kind of showing Weiss's internal struggle and what she was dealing with, and kind of foreshadowing what the future held for her. But yeah, as like a standalone song, it's kind of like, eh.
Yeah. If you put those lyrics in a different song, it'd be a lot. Not that it's a bad song, but it's not as good as a lot of the other ones.
Yeah, I'll agree with you.
All right, so we want to move on to the next one then.
Okay, Divine. I really, really love this song.
Yeah, that's his.
Yay!
Yeah.
So do I.
This
This
is
is a good
far
one.
and away my favorite song on this album.
Yeah,
It is
no,
a
this is
wide
musically-
It's a
gulf
great
between this
villain
and Neon.
song.
Yeah. Probably technically the best song on the album, almost without question.
I'll agree with that.
I enjoy Neon. It's the most unique, but like as a song, like this is definitely one of his strong rock songs. Lyrically, I think Media can probably talk on this, but I agree. It's
There's actually a really, really good AMV that like officially made by the Rooster Teeth, the RT4C YouTube channel. It suits the song so perfectly. And on my old channel, before I really did all the stuff I do now, I actually had a video where I mashed this song together with Sacrifice. And
Nice.
it just had a static image of fan art of like a young Cinder sitting on Salem's lap with like this grim snake next to them.
Cool.
Oh, I
And
know the one.
that was the image I had, and
Yeah.
it was just the two songs put together. They fit really well together. This really is kind of somewhat of a sequel to Sacrifice, but it's taken from Salem's perspective instead of Cinder's.
hmm
Yeah.
There's a lot more like knowledge in the song that like there's a lot more personality maybe, but there's a lot more personal business with this, like not just personality of the singer, but like what did Ozpin do to this woman, man? Cause
Yeah. Yeah.
She
definitely.
she hates Ozpin.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about.
Have
it in
you
the
no
last
shame?
one.
Yeah.
Yep.
We talked about it in the last podcast about Jeff kind of does a better job of tearing down Ozpin than the show does, which is interesting. Again,
Yeah.
Jeff does
Yeah.
better than the writers do, which is a very large list. Let's be honest.
And you know what's
and it's
funny?
listed-
Yeah.
And it's listed major
He actually
things, too.
says, "Don't take me literally. I just make songs and I make them fit." Like he acts like he doesn't really try.
I know exactly.
Yeah, and
Well,
he has kind of-
I think the
yeah.
and I think the song better suits Volume 3 than When It Falls does.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
agree.
I think what it is that Jeff is kind of an outside observer looking at these characters and looking at what he's been given to work with, and Miles and Carrie are, it's what they want. Unfortunately, Jeff sees something very different or seems to sometimes see things differently than what they're trying to portray, unfortunately. So, yeah. And I think this is kind of an example of that. But,
Yeah, that's true. It's well said. I think Miles and Carrie will sometimes get blinded by their like parental of the fact that it's like their baby too much. I think that's kind of
yeah.
that's what they do. Whereas Jeff is like he sees things more objectively. Like there's no such thing as true objectivity. That just does not exist. But he definitely can do it better than they can. And not to be a dick, but he might just be a little bit smarter than them overall.
And, like,
Yeah, writers get blinded
but
by
as
that
far as
stuff a lot,
like, but on the list of shit I've been saying since day one, this lyric right here, form your armies, dream your dreams, make your plans and plot your schemes, send your fighters one and all, then in battle watch them fall. It was you who ended their lives, made them to dig their own graves. With your dark, sick, cruel design, convinced them their world could be saved. Now on the A and B, when it says made them to dig their own graves, it shows the cliffside altar with the Summer Rose Monument.
Nice.
Like
I also just love that creepy nursery rhyme melody that he puts in there.
Oh yeah.
During that part. So good. Oh, I'm not gonna sing it because I suck at singing, but just listen to that part. Form your armies, dream your dreams. Oh my god, so good.
Yeah, it has that piano riff, which has officially become Salem's score.
Yeah.
Like every time that she's been talked about, it does that same piano.
I noticed that. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's horrifying.
Really good.
It's great.
Jeff is good at what he does.
Manipulating a nursery rhyme kind of melody.
My lexicon is too limited to properly articulate the platitudes I would throw at this song.
Yeah.
Yep.
Translated, it's really, really fucking good, and you should enjoy this song. And Jeff is amazing.
Yep.
See, Jeff, if you're listening to this, we may have shat on.
Oh.
It's only because you make stuff like this.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's great to just see things. The more it's interesting that like this is his songs from the villain's perspectives are really the only times from the villain's perspective.
Sorry, we kind of lost you again there.
Yeah.
How about now?
You're good.
Okay. I love this song and other songs like it because Jeff's songs from the villain's perspectives are the only times we really get to see the villains from their perspective and not just, here are the villains, they are bad guys. You should not like them.
Yeah.
You know, we get a more sympathetic look at them and get to see heroes thrown in more of a bad light, which I think really helps. It's one of the things that I think Star Wars: The Clone Wars did well, the CGI show with Ahsoka in it, and I think it's something like that's one of the things that did masterfully well, and it's something that the latest movie from Star Wars did, Rogue One, did better than a lot of other Star Wars movies. So, although media doesn't like the characters, but the gray area, the heroes aren't always exactly the good guys thing. I think that's
they just
really does.
Rogue One just didn't really go anywhere with that.
It's too black and white.
Yeah. I did like I don't know. The villains for the series are kind of one of my favorite parts because I do feel like they sometimes feel, I don't know, they feel very real to me even though they are villains. But yeah, I do agree that when we get these songs from their perspective, it's definitely hard sometimes to feel like, you know, they're really like, yeah, that the heroes are really the heroes sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Like, they're not just being bad.
Other than Emerald and maybe Mercury, I don't really get the villains in RWBY.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. I have sympathy.
Like, Cinder's on the fence, but mostly because of like all my headcanons I have for that character, more than anything that we've actually been shown or told about her.
Yeah.
Fair enough, I guess.
I mean, I've liked the slightly more sympathetic light we've been seeing her in this volume, but I think, I kind of with media that really the villains just seem like, you know, standard supervillain bad guys that are just bad because they're bad. Like, I haven't seen any reason not to think that. Like, there's definitely no Zuko character in this show, that's for damn sure. Although
I think that's what they've been trying to do with Jean.
Turn him into Zuko or something.
I like Jean, but if that's what they're trying to do, they're failing miserably.
Yep.
Yeah.
But another lyric that just really shows why I love this song. These children you mislead, you'll watch them all bleed. Pyrrha! Penny!
Seriously, though, she just turned into ashes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Gone with the wind.
And speaking of Penny,
those games have been going today.
And speaking of Penny, the next line is divide them, tear them apart.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Yeah,
so
just
that
rubbing
sounds
in all the
amazing.
death in his face, but yeah.
Do we wanna? Do we want?
Move on to cold? Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Monty tribute.
Yeah.
I'm pretty cold to this song.
I'm kind of I was about to say the same thing again, and
Yeah.
which I don't want to say, but I don't really. It's not one of the stronger ballad songs, you know. And then Home came out this last volume to make it look even worse.
It's not Home, it's not Wings, it's...
Yeah.
I like the boy
It's
on
okay.
on a string.
I do
cover
like
of it.
I like this more than Wings. I'll say that I like it more than Wings.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because like I really feel like there is an actual place like Jeff Williams really went to like a sad place to write the song, whereas Wings just kind of felt like choose like a Mad Lib, like a make your own song, like fill in the blanks funeral ballad.
Make your own funeral ballad.
Yeah, I kind of see what you mean.
It was a little bit like that, unfortunately. It's not a bad song. Like, it's still good, and like put in the right context, it's definitely can make you feel feels a bit, but it's not as good as a lot of the other ones. It's just not.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should. Much so. Maybe let's just move on to the next volume. Then I kind of want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
No,
Somebody just-
I think there's a little more to be said about Cold. Speaking of positives, this being Jean's song,
Oh, right.
how do you
That's
guys
what
feel about that?
Okay, this
Oh,
is
that's
the
a good
reason
one.
I like
Okay,
the Boy on the Strings cover of it, because he's a dude, and him singing it. I was like, oh my god, it sounds like Jean singing it. And it just clicked with me more when he sang it. Nothing against Casey, it's just like, it felt more connected to the show because it was a dude singing it. Because I was like,
because like
Jean!
yeah. We know that Jeff Williams writes songs for like the people he cares about, and then sometimes they'll just so happen to be crammed into a RWBY soundtrack.
Yeah.
But you
Yep.
know, you can. We are, as a fandom, we can like bend these songs to fit with the characters. It's not that hard.
And he
And it was
was
meant
totally
to be.
fine with that.
All our days is totally about RWBY and or Yang from the perspective of Tai and or Summer, and this song is totally Jean singing about Pyrrha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I said, just look up Boy on a Strings cover of it. It just
Yeah.
fits.
I mean, even
Yeah.
with it being Jean's song about Pyrrha, like it's still not clear enough. Like my big problem with Arcos is that and Arcos people can flame me forever, but I still do not see any conclusive evidence that Jean was romantically in love with Pyrrha. I'm not saying he wasn't, but we don't have proof of that. And this
Does
is-
it mean he
anything-
can't appreciate that she
Yes,
helped
I
him?
agree, but I don't think this song. I don't know. I just think it's too much of a combination of a Monty tribute and a John Pyrrha song. That it
Maybe
is-
tried. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's not enough.
Maybe
Too
tried to be
much.
too much. I can
It's
kind of
not
see
enough.
that, yeah.
Yeah, it's not enough about Jean, in my opinion. That's
Not enough of one thing, yeah.
Yes.
I can kind of see what you mean. Well, yeah. Tried to be two things, ended up not being enough of either.
Yes.
I can kind
Hmm.
of see that, yeah.
Yeah, so that's really more of my problem. Like, so it doesn't. My point is, it doesn't explain enough about how Jean feels. That's what I mean. It doesn't explain either way. It's not giving me an answer that I think people would want to know, and it's not telling us very much. It's like, oh yeah, I'm sad. You helped me, and I'm like, we already knew all that. A lot of his songs do an amazing job of telling us things that we don't actually get from the show. So, and this doesn't do that.
Yeah, we haven't seen too much of him, like, I don't know, any of that coldness, or we've kind of seen the examples of him, like, having a hard time saying goodbye, but I don't know, when you look at Cold, but in terms of Cold, that is not how I would describe him in Volume 4, especially not towards RWBY. So
yeah, exactly.
He was actually very warm to her. But,
and he's very angry and he's more hot-headed than anything else. Like you see the scenes with Crow, the scene with him practicing at night. Like that's a heartbreaking scene. Like that's an example of like it doesn't matter exactly what kind of love he felt for her. That's a powerful scene, no matter what. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That actually is an example of the show doing a really good job of an emotional scene like that. But this song doesn't do that at all for me.
Yeah, it's an okay song, but
yeah,
it's I don't know. Feels kind of weird in the context that it was trying to be.
Yeah. Okay, so now
Volume 4 soundtrack.
Okay.
I like
this is a good one. This is definitely more of a return to form. Although, as Media and I said yesterday, or the last time we did this, it's got a lot of unbelievably good songs and a decent amount of really bad songs too. But its highs are really high, like really high.
Yep.
And in my not at all humble opinion, it doesn't get any higher than that starting track, Let's Just Live.
Yeah.
I
Wait, before we get
am
into
so
it,
in
can
love
I
with the song.
see if you guys can get something? So there's a little hidden thing, more or less. You guys are smart, so I think you guys will get it. But the lyrics, "Move onward, not there yet." Do you know what that was trying to do?
Okay, or it's kind of a nod to Monty's mantra of keep moving forward, I believe. But
There's more to it than that, but
hit me.
Yeah, that's what I.
onward, not. It literally spells Monty. Move onward, not there yet.
Oh my god, it does. It totally
Holy
does.
shit.
As if I didn't have enough reasons to love this song.
Yes,
That's
genius.
clever. That's clever.
What did I just miss?
Move onward, not there yet. It's
It's an anagram for Monty.
Yeah, oh my goodness. And it's in the part of the song that's in the opening.
exactly.
Let's just live day by day and
It's
not
been
be
under our noses this
conquered
whole
by our
time.
sorrows.
Oh,
The past can't
wow,
hold
that's
us
so
down,
good.
we must break free. Inside we're torn apart, but time will mend our hearts. Move onward, not there yet, so let's just live.
Let's just live. Like,
Monty.
Damn,
Yeah,
my
that's
goodness.
good.
Holy
Kitty,
shit.
what is it with every time you're on a podcast, you point out one or two things like mind-blowingly interesting?
She's on
I
DeviantArt
have
and
ways.
stuff a lot more than we are.
Yeah, like
I
Yeah.
actually got that
And
from
Amino.
Murder, who got that straight from Jeff, so.
nice.
See, I didn't
okay.
watch that.
Yeah.
I figured I'd find something there, because.
we have opinions on reaction video. Murder's awesome, but we have opinions on reaction videos, and that's all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
let's not get into
all
that.
my disdain for Murder Birds is not disdain towards Murder Birds, it's disdain towards reaction channels in general.
Yep.
Hmm.
But yeah, I love this song. This is the song, like, while Volume 4 was going on and people kept saying, oh my gosh, Ren and Nora are gonna die. I was all like, listen to the freaking opening. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Robert,
You know what? I
Robert's-
was really. Oh, sorry. A lot of people were like, oh my god, this is the worst song ever. I'm like, fuck you all. Whoever said that. Fuck you.
This
This
is
is
the
one of the best
best.
ones.
This is the best, in my opinion. Like, this is my favorite RWBY song.
Yes. Same here.
It's a really good song. It's not musically my favorite, though it's very, very good. And what I like about it is it's actually more of a traditional. It's less heavy than a lot of his other rock songs, which I think helps differentiate it a good amount. And I think that's what people liked less about it, is it's not as heavy, and I think people are just too used to that.
Mhm.
I'll say it's not my favorite, but that definitely sets it apart. And lyrically, it's fantastic, which, I mean, Kitty just added even more to how amazing lyrically it is, but I think it's not one of my top 5, but I can definitely see why it is in people's top 5 and why it is some people's favorites, like Media's, for example.
Like, and to talk about the opening, like, the opening does so many, like, really good things that a lot of people just take for granted.
Except for introducing Blake's parents, which, god damn it, I was right.
Well, I mean, even that you can't blame the opening for that.
I know.
That was Miles and Carrie. They were only in the opening because they had a major part in the season.
Yeah,
the only thing I don't like about the opening visually is Finnick and Cossack's part in it. Like because it's during Yang's segment, like you got Yang that is like beautifully and like artistic, like she's like battling her conflict is her own, is man versus self, and she sees like what she lost, and like when she looks at her dad, she sees what she lost, and that just brings her further into despair with Adam, and then Finnick and Cossack for some reason.
Because why not?
Some random reason. Yeah.
Because they're trying to shove that bumblebee in your... No, I'm just kidding. I mean, no, they have the same target. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But that is the one thing. But like for instance, action that actually goes with the beat of the song.
Yeah, no, that's
yes.
And backgrounds that are actually animated sets and not just generic concept art.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
also.
exactly.
Or
this
gradient,
was definitely
plain
the best
white,
one.
or plain white gradient backgrounds like most of Volume 1's opening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's true. It definitely was the best opening, no question. Like overall.
Yeah, this was a great song. I love it.
But yeah, this song in it has a lot of pathos, with like again like moving onward, always move forward, and this is almost like it's not a Red Like Roses Part 3 because it's not dealing with Ruby's internal feelings with her mother, like Red Like Roses Part 1 and Part 2 were. But it is totally RWBY's song.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Like, not letting the world get you down, no matter how hard it gets. Keep trying, keep moving forward. Keep fighting the good fight against all odds, even if it kills you.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about this one?
It's in it, this volume.
Chef's been trying to push this song since Volume 2.
I was gonna bring
Yeah,
that up. Like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness!
Last time.
I feel
And we
cheat-
almost
like,
got
I feel
it too
cheated.
soon.
Yeah.
I feel like it's perfect for
Better
Volume
here.
4, though, so
Yeah.
we just had to
I
wait for
think
the good
so,
stuff.
yeah.
Granted, he supposedly like made a couple changes to it to fit more with Volume 4. So like this isn't straight out what he had planned for Volume 2.
Okay. Yeah.
But I would have
have
still really liked to hear this song earlier.
I mean, it
I
still
hate that
plays
I-
back
I hate
to
that I
Volume
lived
2 because
23
she
and a
finally
half
learns
years
a
of my
lesson.
I'm mad that I had to live 23 and a half years of my life before I heard this song in its in all its glory.
Yeah. This was definitely a
But,
good
you know,
song, yeah.
Still has the Volume 2 things he wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the ending is that last those last couple lines are like quoting verbatim what the theme of the first half of Volume 2 was.
Mm-hmm.
And by that I mean the
Yep.
only theme in Volume 2, because the second half of Volume 2 did not have a theme.
Because it was supposed to have a theme, but it ruined itself, yeah.
Because coffee.
Among
joking,
other
I'm
things.
joking.
But yeah,
Let's
no,
just
yeah.
blame
that was-
everything.
they
No,
were
I'm
It
just
goes
part of
way
kidding.
the
deeper than
problem.
coffee.
I know.
But they were part of the problem. They were a symptom.
Hmm.
Yeah, but let's just live just one day. Let's forget about our problems. Let's fall in love
Let's
with
fall
life
in
and
love with-
just be
yeah.
free. The sun will never fade. The night won't steal our day. Let's laugh and dance and love, and let's just live.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Yeah.
If Lancaster ever happens,
That needs
I
to be their song.
want this
You
song.
know, you're saying this, but it's on my list of animatics I want to do, and Lancaster. That's one of the thoughts.
Of course it is.
Of course, you're like the reason I ship Lancaster. So
He's literally the reason I ship Lancaster. Literally, he
Yep.
convinced me one day.
So people who love my Lancaster are, you owe this guy.
Yeah.
You owe media.
and my
Yep.
and my fan fictions that I write.
You
Yes.
can find media on fanfiction.net.
Which, by the way, as soon as we're done recording this podcast, I will be starting writing on chapter 105 of RWBY on Generations.
Yes.
So
Oh boy.
yeah,
Um,
it'll be the final stretch of RWBY on until
Nice.
Volume 5 is over.
And then we can get to the one I've been waiting for.
Yeah, yeah, you're still waiting on that casually sequel.
Yes, I am. No, that's shame and
Nice.
pity. That was really good. Okay, anyway, do we want to move on to the next song? I think? Or is there more to say on the previous one?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I gave it all the money shots I can handle.
Perfect
hold on,
song for me.
What's track? Sorry. Track 2 is like Morning Follows Night.
Yes.
I dig it.
And
Yes. Love
this
it.
is one of my top 5 favorite songs Jeff has done, and not even a Black Sun shipper. That's how good it is.
I was looking forward to this song more than any of them,
I
and
was
it did
looking
not
for-
disappoint.
I was looking forward to Home the most, but
This
one
is
turned-
barely in my top 5 favorite songs on this album, though.
Really, that's interesting. This is in my top 5 favorite songs, period, from the RWBY soundtracks. I think it does such a better job of explaining Blake and Son than the fucking show does. I just have to tip my hat to Jeff. And one of the reasons it's not as good as Boop is because Boop goes along with what happens in the show, and the
Mhm.
writers fucked up Blake and Son, especially Blake, so much in the actual show that it kind of hurts the song a little bit. But then it also kind of makes Jeff seem more impressive. That he
I feel
understands Blake more than the fucking writers do.
The Blake Son thing is more just miscommunication and just they don't know what they're doing.
Blake being stubborn. Both
Yeah.
of them being
I
stubborn.
really like Blake
it's
at the
more that-
beginning because she had the most potential to be interesting, and then they just kind of like
they
moody
kinda made her
teenager.
stupid and- Yeah,
Just why?
exactly. They made it the exact opposite. Yeah. And I wouldn't give them that much credit because if they had mystic communication, then Blake wouldn't be slapping Son around and treating him like dog shit the whole
Yep.
season until the very end.
It was supposed to be like like hitting him on the shoulder, like
Yeah.
stop being an
Well,
idiot
actually-
instead of I'm abusing you now.
We'll get on this more when we talk about when we do the Carrie podcast when I get back from Japan. But Carrie actually said, and I was surprised to hear this, but it slightly made me forgive him. The slaps on it at her house to be that intense. Then he gave it to the animators, and they gave him back something way more violent than what he was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that should tell that to the Blake people who are like, he deserved to be slapped even harder. Yeah, fuck those people.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them. But this song does a better job explaining their relationship than the show did. It just does, and it makes Blake a little bit more sympathetic, and this explains her point of view much better than they've ever done in the show.
Exactly. I feel like if they reveal more about Blake, then would be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, I have an entire headcanon that I'm like, unless they do this, they can't rectify just how
that's
bad they
kind
wrote
of
Blake.
That's kind of the problem with Blake is she started out supposed to be the mysterious character. Then they talked about her more than they did about almost anybody else. And then now she's at the point where they've revealed a shitload about her, and all of it just leads to more questions and more contradictions than it does to
Yep.
explaining her at all. So, I mean, Okay, enough complaining about Blake herself because we do that all the time.
And for once, I'm doing part of it.
We did it in the last podcast too.
The person named Kitty is complaining about Blake. Like, what the fuck?
That's so poorly written. But this does a really. I love the conversation. I have 4 lines. You have 4 lines. Like they make the conversation kind of flow in a cool way, and I really like that. The lyrics make sense. They explain the characters themselves very well, and they explain their relationship very well. It almost makes me ship Black Sun more than Bumblebee at this point. This is so well done. It gives me sympathy for Blake, and I still don't forgive them completely, but this song helps me forgive them a bit, and it makes me like it. It definitely characterizes Sun's point of view and clarifies it a little bit more from what we've already seen in the show. And the song itself is really good. Like, I love that the like guitar part is like heavy, but not like overly heavy. And I love the chorus. I love that kind of weird beat they do. I love that he's hitting the China instead of a crash cymbal that whole time. Like that slightly like skipping, like bouncing, like almost a reggaeton beat that it's got at the chorus. It's basically a rocking reggaeton beat on the chorus, which is so cool. So all that it makes it definitely one of the more unique heavy rock songs he's done for sure. Just musically, and then you add how good the lyrics are on top of it, that makes it easily a top 5 for me.
Can we talk about Lamar's rap in this? Sun's like, hey, there's more to Sun than you haters think there is. Yeah. Because it shows that he's hiding some kind of struggle. It kind of makes it seem like
there is Robert.
Yeah, he disconnected a while ago. I don't know what's up.
And then he got back. And now he's disconnected again. Okay, well.
I don't know what happened.
Anyway.
But yeah, there's definitely something going on with Sun. It kind of makes it seem like he has a lot going on, but he kind of hides it with his personality. And since he's from Vacuo, you can kind of, which is the more hostile kingdom. There's a lot of possibilities there.
That's true. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I think a lot of people.
I first kind of heard that point before the song came out. Obviously, with Celtic Phoenix Productions, McNeil, he was talking about like he first started to dislike RWBY during the Volume 1 finale when something like just hit him about the writing that was off, and that was Blake explaining the history of the Faunus and their persecution to a Faunus whose introduction was him being chased by the police.
And he's also from Vacuo. It's like the shittiest place to live.
Yeah.
It's like where I live. It's hot as fuck. I like connecting it to South America's history and everything. It's like people were used. It's like, hey, you got cool stuff. We're gonna send a bunch of these foreigners come in and ruin your fucking lives.
That is basically what it is. Yep.
Which is why I like Sun. And I'm like, he's coming from this culture and he's a Faunus. I'm like, he doesn't need fucking Blake to tell him, this is what oppression is. Like, bitch, he lived it. He's from it.
Yeah, that's a good point. And a little bit of shades of Nora, actually, thinking about that with Sun, just because, she's that happy-go-lucky, energetic, positive person that, as we definitely know now, has arguably the most tragic past out of anybody that we've seen, that we can confirm. And Sun, this kind of hints at a bit more, but you can assume that, he was from Vacuo, somehow got to Mistral, like kind of a similar thing of what the hell did he go through? I've never heard him talk about a family, even though we've definitely seen him a lot. There's probably a lot of a lot of
It does
bad-
mention that he has a family in Vacuo.
Oh, okay, interesting.
It's also
in
safe to
Volume
assume.
3. Oh!
It's
Hey.
also safe to
Rises.
assume that that basically everyone that he's been around with in Vacuo has probably faced similar hardships that he has.
Yep.
So if everyone's been through the same shit, then it's not. Then you're not being shitty.
It's a culture of,
Way
you know
to
what?
just snipe into
High
the
Power came
conversation.
in just to High Power came in just to talk more shit on Blake, which I love because fuck Blake.
Well, here's the thing, though. This is what I like about Vacuo, where it's like literally like the libertarian land, where it's like if you can survive here, then you're cool.
Yeah, Vacuo.
True.
They're real. They're real
It's that,
people.
it's that pioneer attitude that I like.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Hi everybody, welcome High Power to the show.
Hey,
You should
dude.
know if you've listened to most of our podcasts.
I didn't even know there was a podcast going on. I just hopped on.
Yeah. Yeah. Robert was on as well, but he DC'd for some reason.
Yep.
We were simultaneously insulting Blake while complimenting like Morning Follows Night
Yes.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
defending Sun.
Yeah, we're talking about the other two soundtracks that we didn't get to cover last time.
Oh yeah, it's the soundtracks. This is a
Yeah.
good podcast I should be in.
That's what I was saying. You said you forgot there was a podcast today, but I'm pretty sure I messaged you about all of these.
Yeah. So that song that's coming up, that's the one. This is the fucking Sun X Blake song or whatever.
Yeah, it's the one we're talking about right now.
It's the actual lyrically good song or meaningful song. That's a ship song of his album.
Yeah.
Soundtrack. Yeah. Oh,
Yes, exactly.
Tired.
Yeah.
Have you guys talked
it's-
about Bumblebee yet?
No.
No, we're going in order. We're going in order, so that's not going to come up.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there, but not yet.
Yeah. I think that's all we have to say about like Morning Follows Night.
Yeah.
Now time for Edgelord circa 2003 wannabe Linkin Park crawling in my skin.
Yeah.
Bad Luck Charm.
Yeah. I don't want to talk too much about this song. All I have to, I can literally summarize this right now. It's Crow. I think Crow is an awesome character, and this kind of demeans his character a little bit too much because it just makes him a fucking edgelord. And I never.
Is this okay, dude? Is this the song where Crow's like, "I'm mad that Ty cucked me"? The song?
No, it's not
No.
that bad.
It's not.
Because that's my headcanon
Everyone's
of what actually
blessing. You know, this entire song, every time I listen to it, I like the song because Jeff sounds awesome in it.
He
Like, his
does.
voice was made for this song. But every time I listen to this, I'm just like, Ruby! Like, I'm nobody's blessing. I will only bring you harm. Like, literally,
Yeah.
Ruby!
You know what? You know what the problem is? You know what this song makes him sound like? You guys know who this makes him sound like, right?
like.
Sasuke.
Blake. It makes him
Sasuke.
sound like. Sasuke.
You never
I
go
didn't
full
want to
Sasuke.
say. I didn't want to just say Sasuke because I know you don't watch Naruto. But that's
Oh my
totally
God.
what that reminds me.
I've only watched
It's not
I've
that
only
level
ever
of
watched,
cringe, dude.
Karibo's Naruto, the abridged comedy fandoms, where it's just Naruto wants to have gay sex with Sasuke. And he's,
You know what?
smokes-
That's
and he
not
smokes
actually
cigarettes
that
too much.
far off.
They did kiss.
Well, there you go.
Like it's not gay at all, but you know the fandom kind of projects.
Gotcha.
Projects a lot. We can say that about other fandoms too.
Oh yeah, no, you definitely can. But yeah, this song makes him sound like Blake because he's
Yep.
when he needs to whine, and kind of worse because he's at least adult, so he shouldn't be whining this much. And it is the most generic modern Linkin Park Nickelback bullshit rock song that Jeff's probably done. Unfortunately,
Oh,
not
Robert's in
bad.
general again.
It's not bad, but it's it's nothing special about it. It's the same beat.
Oh, hey, dude.
Robert's back.
It's just nothing interesting.
Yay!
I don't think you missed much.
Yay!
We're talking about
yeah, we're talking about Bad Luck Charm now.
the emo song.
And how I snuck into this fucking
Yeah.
podcast.
Which emo song?
Bad Luck Charm.
Bad
Yeah.
Luck Charm. We're talking about how Crow turned into Blake for a song.
Yep.
Oh, gotcha. Bad Luck Charm. Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
I'm back.
let's
Technical
as an
difficulties.
outsider looking in. Okay, y'all are saying this is the quintessential Linkin Park song.
Oh, shit.
But is there like a subject matter that's like being beaten in your head that makes it that way? Like, why are y'all saying this?
So.
Because
Like,
it's
well,
overly edgy and emo.
I need citation. Give me a quote.
So,
Read me the lyrics.
He just
I
said
am
it.
no one's blessing.
Yeah.
Hello, RWBY.
no, it seriously is like just I'll read the lyrics. Pain is your reward for being near me. Fate won't be your friend when I'm around. Blame me for the tragedies that follow. Grave the situations that surround. I'm a harbinger, I cannot lie. I will change the color of your life. I don't mean to bring you pain, but I will just why I can't explain.
I need to be.
I just got a 3 days
Yeah.
grace feel from it now.
Excuse me. Sorry, I couldn't
There's
hold that.
actually
I
a
couldn't hold
song
that
by
in
Linkin
anymore.
Park.
I could not hold that in anymore. I'm sorry. Ugh. Sorry, I need to drink some water to clean that out. Ugh.
I mean, like maybe this could be like, oh, this is a song from a different part of his life. Like,
No,
I mean,
it's just about a semblance.
Yeah.
or that.
Yeah.
And it
Which
plays
makes me
into
even
the
more mad
spike
because
period.
fuck his semblance.
Semblance is
But
vague
no,
as all get
there's
out.
and to compare it to a Linkin
It
Park
needed
song,
to be done better.
I'm sure there's a Linkin Park song that is even closer to Bad Luck Charm, but the one that came to mind was Faint,
Yeah.
which is on Linkin Park's second album. The opening lyrics in that, I am a little bit of loneliness, a little bit of disregard, handful of complaints, but I can't help the fact that everyone can see these scars. I am what I want you to want and what I want you to feel, but it's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you to just believe this is real, so I let go, watching you turn your back like you always do, face away and pretend that I'm not, but I'll be here because you're all that I got.
And that's less emo than this. That's less emo than
There
that.
goes my childhood.
And then it enters Chester Bennington's freaking screaming vocals. I can't feel the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me.
Yeah.
I won't be ignored.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be ignored. Yeah,
I used to be able to do Linkin Park when I was younger,
I can't
and like
do that. I can't.
when I was an angry 12-year-old boy who would like freaking jam Meteora nonstop in my freaking.
And you know what also kind of
parents'
reminds me
garage.
of, and this is not a compliment, even though I used to love this band.
I mean, I love Linkin Park, but I also love to make fun of them.
I like those first two Linkin Park albums, the actual rap metal albums that they did. Yeah, I like rap rock and rap metal albums. Those are good.
Mhm.
But Simple Plan sounds a lot like Simple Plan. If you guys listen to the first two Simple Plan albums, they are the most whiny, angsty bullshit lyrics you'll ever hear in your life.
Yeah.
The song reminds me so much of.
Oh.
Man, we are just having problems all over the place, aren't we?
No.
Yeah. But yeah, the song is definitely just, I don't know, it really feels like depression for the sake of depression, which kind of makes me think about like the whole idea behind Crow's character, because they've talked about how, Monty had the idea for Crow a long time ago, and there was a bunch to it. And a part of me almost gets the feeling that maybe the only real thought that Monty had for Crow was a man who brings bad luck wherever he goes. And that was it or something.
That was the one sentence summary.
You're
Exactly. Yeah.
drunkle Crow.
Yeah.
Just the person who doesn't have their life together and drinks too much, but is your cool uncle or aunt.
Yeah, it's just weird. I wouldn't mind it so much if we saw better evidence and examples of him being this bad luck charm, but we don't, so it's frustrating. And this song just feels like, edgy and depressing for the sake of being edgy and depressing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How many people did we just lose?
I don't know.
No one.
Yeah, I think we just lost dude.
Okay.
Dude.
Yeah. There he goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that, but yeah.
After that edgelord mess.
Yep. This life is mine.
Yeah, is that
yes.
the next song? Sorry, my computer's being really slow. Yeah, This Life Is Mine.
One
which,
of the best songs.
Me and Dude have alluded to the song a couple times in the previous podcast and in this one. Mirror Mirror Part 3.
Mirror Part 3, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which does that's about right, yeah. I just remember when I first listened to it in the show thinking to myself, okay, how did he not disown her right here for this song? Because this was not her being subtle at all.
Because that's probably not what she sang.
Yeah.
Musicals in general tend to be considered non-diegetic, but it's a concert scene, so you would expect for the song to the song at least to be diegetic. So this song does exist within the world of Remnant, but it's too specific to have not been written by Weiss, and so you would think that you would think that would like raise a red flag to Jacques.
Yeah.
But
everyone's like, such a lovely song.
Maybe Jacques like really passive aggressive and actually does know and just is like being super passive aggressive about it.
Maybe, yeah.
No, we have to fire up the suspension of disbelief machine.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't clapping. He was just like staring down at her. So,
maybe Weiss didn't have any microphones set up, so like she was only being able to like sing to like the people in the front rows, and everyone else was just like, no one had the gall to like stand up and be like,
even
hey,
if she didn't have mics, she's like professionally trained singer. People can project their voice. Yeah.
I was gonna go with he just gives so few fucks about her that he wasn't even paying attention.
You're talking to the mic from across the room.
He was on his phone. Just like, oh yeah, my daughter is doing another concert.
He doesn't even care.
My daughter does. My daughter.
Anyway, let's get to the song itself, because the song itself is so fucking good.
Yes.
It is good, yeah.
It is such an amazing payoff for the first two Mirror songs, lyrically. I know, media, we disagree overall on, well, not disagree, but the music for Mirror Part 2 was not as good, but lyrically it was up there. So just this whole setup of the Mirror trilogy, and it pays off so well with what Weiss actually does in Volume 4, which, let's be honest, she gets some of the best RWBY's ever got.
Yeah, she's the MVP of Volume 4.
She really is. Renora
one
and
of them.
Weiss,
she was great. Yeah.
Yeah, Renora and Weiss are like the heroes of Volume 4. Like big.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
And Sun.
Yep.
Yes.
And a bit of Sun. Yeah, stopping Blake from being completely insufferable, just mostly insufferable.
Yep.
Yeah.
God, did he ever manage to talk about anything without fucking making fun of Blake for 5 seconds? No, we can't, because he sucks that bad.
I've decided not to defend her at all in front of you guys. Because...
Oh no, you can try.
Yeah,
most of what I think
CJ used to try.
What save her are things that should happen in the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Haven't.
CJ used to try to defend her. It didn't work out so well for him.
Yeah. No, it's like I said, I have my headcanon of what they should do with her if they want to save this fucking character.
Try to hold on to hope for the future, for her future, but what has been thus far has not been great. But anyway.
But enough making fun of Blake and Weiss's amazing song. Let's talk about Weiss.
Yes.
Yep. This was great.
This is such a great. The diversity in the music is amazing. The way it speeds, it gets more and more and more and more intense. Just it like basically never stops building. But unlike a shitty indie song, there's actually payoff to that build. Unlike those songs, it's not just building and building and cucking you at the end. It actually gives you a payoff. Like it's, oh my god! And it's a diverse song musically. You start off with the more quiet piano parts, you get something almost operatic, weird kind of song, and then you get all the heavier rock stuff. The melody's good. The lyrics pay off so well, and they actually make sense because actually rebelled finally. Listen, of course, I'm not your pet, not a thing you own. I was not born guilty of your crimes. Your riches and your influence can't hold me anymore. I won't be possessed, burdened by a royal test. I love that callback. I will not surrender. This life is mine. I love how she mentions the riches won't hold her anymore. Like, so many good specific references to what happens in the volume. Oh,
exactly.
Had some foreshadowing too, especially what happens later in that episode.
Yeah,
exactly.
How do you feel about them changing that though? I mean, where it. God, I'm bad at explaining things, but like in the actual show, and when it comes to that part, she says, you know, I'm not your pet, but instead, she says, I'm not afraid. What else did she say? I'm bad at remembering things. But
I'm not your pet.
I've been afraid, never standing on my own.
Oh, they changed.
I let you be the keeper of my pride. Yeah.
That is earlier in the song. The part that they had in and this kind of goes with that, like, he wrote it one way and then for that, like, 30 seconds and then added stuff to it. The I'm not your pet, not another thing you own. I was not born guilty of your crimes.
Yeah, I know that's later, but how do you feel about...
I like it.
Like, you're expecting that line, but instead you get something else. Like,
it threw me off a little bit the first time I listened to it.
It's a bit of a jolt.
I like it because it's more intense later in the song. So I actually like it. Because it actually that's what I'm saying. The song gets more intense and the lyrics get more intense as well. That's why in the first chorus it's I've been afraid, never standing on my own. I let you be the keeper of my pride. So that pass and then
I got chills.
It's angrier. It's I'm not your pet, not a thing you want. I was not bringing crime. So I think it's good. I actually love that. I love that it's the choruses are dynamic in that way and that they get more intense as the song goes. So she gets angrier. She takes action. It's almost like this song is the season for Weiss because she starts off uncertain. Like you can see her, she's talking to the mirror again, asking. She's uncertain. She feels bad. And then she sings the song. And then after the song is when she finally really snaps into action and realizes how wrong everything is. She can't just go back to her dad and her money, and she actually has to do something. And that's when the song
I think, and I've expressed this a couple times before in podcasts prior and in my reviews of these episodes. She had already decided that she's not going to just stay under her father's thumb pretty much from the time that she touched back down in Atlas. And I still hold fast to the theory that she was pretty much just staying there and that she just did the concert because she really does want that inheritance. Running the SDC is a legitimate goal that she has her heart set on, even if she has to put up a shock for it. But
because it's a way to right a lot of his wrongs.
But there is a line that she's not willing to crush. She's not willing to become. She's not willing to backslide into being a bad person again. Which is why when people are talking shit on Vale, she snaps because those are her friends and allies that they're talking shit on.
People died.
People died. People she was close to died. Or at least one person, Pyrrha.
I mean, who knows? I would assume there's.
I mean, she wanted to be friends with Pyrrha. She wanted to be closer friends.
It certainly implied that Pyrrha and Weiss do have prior history, prior to Beacon.
Maybe briefly before,
and also, can I shout out the metaphor of the mirror being the line, the holding back her mind and heart from each other? Oh my god, I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is actually the first time I have the lyrics right in front of me without the song being on, so I'm able to, just talk about the lyrics and stuff. But, yeah, now this conversation's finally over. Mirror, mirror, now we're done. I've pulled myself together, now my Mind and Heart Are One. I got chills reading that.
Yeah, that line
awesome,
is arguably the best line Jeff's written. It's that good.
And sadly, this means that we're not going to get another Mirror Mirror.
I know, that's the worst part.
And it means that we don't need one, but yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, the plus side is that we don't need
it's
one.
It's a bittersweet thing, yeah.
It's a bittersweet thing.
Because Weiss has grown so much, and I'm so proud of her.
I know, exactly. There's a lot to be proud of with her this volume. She's the
From one of my least favorites to one of my favorites.
I was gonna say, Weiss definitely had some of the most like character development for what time she did have on the screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's good, and there's actually she achieved what Blake couldn't. She went from being something hateable to being something likable and sympathetic. And oh look, we're making fun of Blake again.
I was gonna say,
I was just
nobody
about
wanted
to say that
anything,
when they used
her
for comedy, it actually made sense. Not when they did that with Blake.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Because at least, she comes from like this stuffy background and she's trying to be normal. And then with Blake, it's just like, where the fuck does this chick come from? Like, are you moody or are you weird?
What's wrong with you?
It's just so great that we get this good of a payoff for Weiss as a character. Saying that most people said that she's still the most generic character. And we get this much from her. That's really good. I mean, she's the closest thing to a Zuko-esque character in the show, even though she's not as... nothing's as good well written as Zuko. Like, Zuko's a fucking masterpiece of a character. But it's literally one of the greatest characters.
Got the scar, though.
Zuko, I will argue this with anybody, is one of the greatest characters in fiction ever, period. I've read a lot of books. I've done a lot of studying on ancient literature, and he's that good. He's that well written. But this is still the best that RWBY's done so far for a single character, I think. And the volume pays off for her. This song pays off for her. It's one of the best songs Jeff has done. It's probably it's my second favorite RWBY song.
It's my second favorite on this album.
It's my favorite on this album. It's my second favorite, period. And it's the best Mirror Mirror song. It pays off that well there too. There's so many great lyrics. The music fits it so well. It's so intense. Oh, it's just a fucking masterpiece from Jeff. Love this. Song so much. This is like one of those highs, that puts this album so much above 3, and in my opinion above Volume 1 even as a soundtrack, and makes it approach 2. Nothing touches 2, but it gets close.
Yeah.
So next after that is...
We are good at transitions.
Ready? It's my internet. I have the track. I'm going back and forth between like the track list and the actual songs, and my internet's just not wanting to keep up with me.
Yeah, we got
After This Life Is Mine is
I have
home.
the same problem. Yeah.
Yeah, such a fantastic song. In my opinion, it's the best ballad of any of the RWBY ballad songs, or like slow songs, whatever you want to call it. In my opinion, it's definitely the best. Melodically, it's the best. Lyrically, I think it's arguably the best too. Whatever the subject it's about, some people, including myself, kind of think it might be a Ren or Renora song. Some people say it's a Crow and RWBY song, which I could think it could be that. Honestly, either way, I think it works either way. It's the lyrics aren't the greatest because it's a little bit generic, but it still works for the volume as a whole, and it just melodically and musically, it's the best ballad.
Yeah.
And
it's kind of...
Sorry, go ahead.
And it's kind of a nice answer to Divide, I think, that it's like...
Yeah.
Even that is where it's like Divide is all about, people are being torn apart, everything is falling apart, but it's like... And Home is like, everything's falling apart, things are bad, but, as long as you've got, this one person, this important person in your life, or as long as you're with these people, as long as you're home, you have these people with you, you are still home, and that is something to be grateful for and stuff, so yeah.
And this is definitely the best ballad chorus, like melodically. It's really, really good. That's why this was the song I was actually looking forward to the most out of all the Volume 4 songs. Turns out there were 2 that I end up liking even more, but this one definitely didn't disappoint. Those other 2 were just so fucking good that they surpassed my expectations.
Huh?
This one's just still
Yeah.
really, really good.
Yeah,
Don't
definitely.
point me at all.
We lost high powered.
Yeah.
He's AFK.
He's fucking around here and there and doing whatever he wants. For those who don't know, High Powers actually are he runs this Discord channel. So
Yep.
High
The
Power does
meme
what
master,
High Power,
as we call him.
yeah, the meme master as we call him. High Power does what High Power wants. We pay him tribute in Brown Anime Girls.
Yes. And dank memes.
Yeah, and dank memes exactly. Although he tends to post some of the dankest of memes.
Yeah.
But no, that's just why he's the meme master. I mean, it's tough to talk about the song too much though, just because the lyrics. It's really tough to tell exactly what it's talking about. I honestly can say that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As much as
yeah,
I want it to
definitely.
be a Ren and Nora song, it's probably not. It's probably more a theme for the volume as a whole, which it works as for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it's good lyrically, but it's very
Yeah.
melodically.
I have had canon that it's about Lancaster, but that's just me.
Oh,
I want it to
agree,
be, but
because
probably not.
Because
I mean,
Lancaster.
that's the same thing with me with Ren Nora. I mean, you could honestly put it there too. You really could make it a
Yeah.
Lancaster song.
Exactly. It works for like any relationship between two characters in this that it's
Yeah.
like, which is good. It's like, these characters are there for each other.
Yeah, as much as I am a huge like Lancaster shipper, I don't see this ever really being a Lancaster song.
Yeah.
I see it being
right
more
now,
of another RWBY and Yang song.
Maybe.
That's what a
Yeah.
lot of people are saying, and I could probably see that.
At least more than Lancaster.
Yeah.
But my personal theory is that it's RWBY and Crow. Either that or
I like
Renora.
that theory
Yeah, I
actually.
could see that too.
Mhm.
I'm starting
But
to think of
Renora
that. Even...
already has their song.
Yeah, Boop is just so good. It's technically more of a Nora. It's good.
Yep.
I think
Yeah,
Ren
I have heard that this is like just Ren's internal monologue at the end.
That's what I think. I think it's more of a Ren song than a Ren and Nora song, but we'll see. I think next volume might actually give us this answer.
Yeah.
Whenever
whoever's on screen when these piano riffs return, which, it's gonna happen. They do this every freaking volume, and that's kind of why
they will.
Yeah.
this is as
That's
good
the
a time as
point.
any to explain. Like, the score in RWBY gets better and better with each iteration, and a lot of that has to do with them taking these like piano chords and these guitar riffs and putting them into and implementing them into the actual score. Like when Salem shows up at the beginning of Volume 4 and it does the piano riff from Divide. Or,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
In the Volume 4 character
And all the
short.
boop riffs that we get.
all the boop riffs throughout the latter part of Volume 4. Or during the character short when it does the do 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 do, just as Ruby's about to like go for the final string of attacks against the Barangel.
I talked to Jeff about the boop riffs, Robert. If I didn't already explain that to you, I explained to everybody else.
Yeah.
Or
I actually talked to Jeff about those.
An early example of this is actually in Volume 2 during the food fight when Ruby goes to do her freaking infinite mass punch against Team Juniper. It does the Red Like Roses piano riffs, but it's like really fast, like do 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 do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it keeps picking up speed until she slams into them and like freaking plasters them all over the wall.
Yep.
Bringing back
in a move I really want her to do again against like actual
That'd be
enemies.
awesome.
Yep.
Bringing back Cold, of course, was brilliant. It was actually very well done, even though it's not one of my favorite songs. It's still brilliantly used in the score. I mean, yeah, we could go on and on, but yeah, I mean, the score of Volume 4 is definitely the best, but I would argue that, like Media said, each score gets better and better, and Jeff is good at
because they keep calling us back to those songs.
Yeah, and a lot of that is not just Jeff Williams. A lot of the score is also Alex Abraham.
Alex Abraham, and I think there's one other person, too, that is part of it. But they're very good at and even being very specific with the lyrics that would be there in the melody that they're playing, stuff like that. Like they're very, very good at that. So, want to move on to Armed and Ready then? There's not a ton to say about Home, as much as I like it.
Yeah. It's a nice movie, yeah.
I think Home might be like the longest song. It's almost 6 minutes long. It's over 5.5 minutes long.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, probably.
There's a lot of longer ones on this one though, actually.
Yeah, a lot of them are
Because
crossing that 5-minute mark.
Let's just live is not short. Like Morning Follows Night's decently long. This Life Is Mine is quite long, and Home is long, and Armed and Ready isn't short either. So, they're.
Although it should have been shorter.
It should have been shorter by about a minute.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh, we're terrible.
I like this song a lot. I think musically,
one, yeah.
it's definitely one of the more fun rock songs he's done. It's definitely better than quite a few of the other ones. Not the best, but it's good. It's intense. It fits with Yang again as a person, and it fits with her where she probably is or where she thinks she is right now in her life. So I like that also.
Yeah, I hope. I'm hoping she's not where she thinks she's at.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think literally that she's not where she thinks she's at, because if she is, that's a big problem for the show. That's just that's a big damning thing for. But
people have talked about that. But anyway, yeah,
we can save that for our pre-volume 5 podcasts and stuff like that. That I'm sure we'll do soon. But
we're about to get a preview for that, so I'm excited.
And just the whole. Oh, by the way, I might be able to make that and relay spoilers to you guys.
Oh boy,
because it is in LA and I live in LA. So, and I will it'll be the day after I get back from Japan. So, I will talk about that. Armed and Ready. The puns are delicious. Just delicious puns. Yeah. But I know Jeff is doing on purpose for that specific character. So you know what? That's great. And so that's really it. And let's let Media talk about what he doesn't like about this, because he makes. I want
to talk about what I do like about this song first.
Okay.
Just so that I can properly illustrate how much the last minute of this song can blow me. So it's Yang's internal monologue in Volume 4 where she's picking herself back up, and there's the moment of triumph with the first chorus where I feel like I'm finally unbroken, feel like I'm back from the dead. That it's a killer hook, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Also. This song does more to establish Bumblebee than the actual Bumblebee song does. I'm trying to find the lyrics. It happens every night. I watch my world ignite, but there's no waking from this nightmare. The stage is always set, the place I can't forget, the hidden eyes that I can't feel there. That's a reference to Adam's mask. Mm-hmm. My eyes are open wide. I'm racing to her side. There's nothing that I won't do for her. But this is not a dream. My mind repeats the scene. I can't forget it, and it's torture. Yeah, that stanza right there.
RWBY, or is
that's
that
talking
about?
It's about
in the context,
it's literally Yang's thought process when she was rushing in to get her arm chopped off.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, gotcha.
I thought it was about RWBY the first time I heard it.
But it goes back to earlier in the verse with, but there's no waking from this nightmare. The stage is always set, the place I can't forget. It's the Beacon cafeteria when it was on fire. And then the hidden eyes that I can feel, that's Adam's mask.
Okay,
that was before, but not anymore. I've left it behind. As much as I lost, once I'm across, I'll find. And then, I found the strength, yada, yada, yada. I burn again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, this song's about Adam, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
And then it becomes about Junior?
Yep. Well,
yeah. I'm trying to find the... Yeah, call me sweetheart, and... Call me sweetheart, and I'll tear you apart. Just call me sir. God, that line is just so dumb, even on its own, but it's even dumber because this whole song has been about Adam and Blake and Yang and that dynamic, and then Junior?
It's about Junior for some reason. Yeah.
Or maybe it's just
big moment where
I did Junior. I don't.
And it's at the big moment where she's gonna triumph, and she's rising above it. That's a I can't even remember who does that song. The rise above this now.
I don't know.
That's I think that's Seether. Might be wrong. I'm gonna have to look that up when I'm done.
Some generic grunge band.
Yeah. But the whole like last part that you would expect to be the triumph over Adam, and it's just rehashing a bunch of like really cheesy lines from the Yellow trailer.
Yep.
It's like, okay, what? Junior's not the one who cut off your arm, sweetheart.
Yeah, it's almost like Jeff handed the script to writing those.
I mean, unless Junior like comes back, which I highly doubt, but
yeah.
And it's kind of like, I don't know, it kind of almost feels like this is supposed to be about Yang moving on from everything that's happened, but then she's calling her back to what she was at the very beginning, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, you don't want to do this.
Yeah, the whole part, you're supposed to be more mature now.
I still kind of see it as Yang being, hey, I'm going to kick your ass like I kicked Junior's ass.
Yeah, that's the one thing that helps me justify it, is I think it was Jeff just falling for puns too much instead of so yeah. Because
like the lyrics, try to resist once you meet my new fist. Bye bye. Just look at the fire in my eyes and bring me my strawberry sunrise. Like,
yeah, it's like that. That has
she's
both.
talking
that
to
has
Adam, like,
yeah,
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you with, my new arm, because you cut off my first one. But then it's like, strawberry sunrise. Like, I'm gonna make you my bitch, basically.
Yeah.
Like she did with Junior.
Sunrise, that's another reference to the Yellow trailer, because that's what she orders at the bar.
I know, I'm just saying maybe the only way I can justify this is her saying, hey, I'm gonna make you my bitch, like I did with Junior. Like, that's
I don't see that
the only way to justify. Of course not.
I mean, I think that's. I would think that's what he was going for, but I would say he didn't execute it well enough if that's what he was going for.
Yeah.
And the end result is he's saying what media says. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
It was a nice song, but that last minute, it almost feels like they were just like, hey, Jeff, we need another minute for this song. It's like, okay, well, let's recycle some of the stuff I didn't use on iBurn. I don't know.
Yeah. I had a few more lines for rap, and I forgot them, so he didn't get...
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's a good song overall. Like, musically, it's pretty awesome, to be honest.
Yeah, it's still good. It still starts good.
Yeah, it's still good, and lyrically, musically, it finishes well too. It's just it gets weird lyrically at the end. And so, next one.
Lusus Naturae.
Lusus Naturae.
Which means freak of nature.
Which is bad and boring, and I don't really care about. So let's go talk about Bumblebee instead.
Oh my goodness! Wait, hold on.
Are we just
gonna leave Lusus Naturae at that? As much as I don't like the song either.
Yeah. This is. We talked about this album has highs and lows. This is one of the lows. This
is a song that was on. It was the end credit song for the video game.
And it is apparently supposed to be from the point of view of Dr. Merlot. So.
Yep.
Dr.
Who we haven't seen. Whatever.
Yeah, it's
Merlot.
It's French.
Merlot. Okay.
Merlot.
Who we haven't seen in the canon series, which I wouldn't mind seeing him in the canon series, but yeah, it's kind of odd, I guess. I mean, yeah.
They did play part of this for the new Nuclavi, so.
Yeah, which works. I mean, given some of its content and the Nuclavi, which is definitely
it's like the Grimm thing, sort of.
Yeah, it's just a love song to the Grimm and stuff like that, and
I mean, just musically, it's not that great.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
it's
I don't have that much to say. Like.
It's there.
It's there, and it's not that great. And like the chorus is the worst chorus I think he's ever written. It's not interesting at all. It's so boring melodically. It's so flat. The verses aren't bad melodically, but like God, musically the chorus is just blah. The chorus is more blah than Not Fall in Love with You, and I really don't like that song. So
and I'm sure people would probably hate me for this, but I don't really like the way Jeff sings most of the time. It's just like the frequency of that he sings in, and then the guitar sometimes like they match too much that his voice gets too lost, which is my only problem with it. And it's not their fault they don't have money to overproduce their voices sound like just too perfect. So it's not his fault, but this song sometimes it's just like his voice gets lost. So
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
He's a good singer. He doesn't stand out as well as Casey, which is, I mean, that's not really fair because Casey's pretty damn good. So
that's because hers isn't as it's fuller, so it doesn't get as lost.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. All right, so
it's a nice song to get to know Dr. Merlot from, but
yeah.
Bumblebee time, because this was
Bumblebee time.
I have some stuff to say here, but
yeah, there's definitely stuff to say here. This was fun because of the controversy around it, more so than the song itself.
Yeah,
not actually that much.
What are you talking about? I'm just kidding.
The song itself, there's actually very little to say about it. It's a generic love song.
Yeah.
It's not that interesting lyrically. It's not terrible, but it's certainly not great. It's slightly better lyrically than Not Fall in Love with You. But it doesn't actually fit Yang really either.
Yeah,
Also,
because
fit her.
Yang is totally the girl who loves to go and sit and frolic about in gardens.
Yeah, in gardens with butterflies and shit.
Yeah.
And bumblebees. Birds and the bees, though. I'm sure that's up her alley.
I'm sure that's up her alley, yeah. I mean, entendres, fuck. But,
that was the big thing that came to me with this one, is that kind of like what you were talking about with Not Fall in Love with You, was when you said that, it doesn't feel like it's really about Sun or about Blake. It's kind of the same thing with this song with Bumblebee, is that, it's about Bumblebee, it's about their ship because of the name and because of the bee imagery, but it doesn't feel like it's about Blake and Yang. And so, when I first, when we,
I was a little disappointed. As somebody who is neutral on Bumblebee, I was a little disappointed that there wasn't a little more substance in this song.
As somebody who ships Bumblebee, I was very disappointed by that because it was the interesting thing is that it obviously inflamed the shipping war between Black Sun and Bumblebee, and it was hilarious because all of us on our Discord, especially, and all of us in the podcast, we slightly favor one ship or another in terms of Bumblebee or Black Sun, but
we're not crazy about it.
I'm actually very neutral on this.
We're all fairly new, at least fairly neutral, and all of us would be fine.
But
with
there's
the
more
other
evidence
ship.
for Sun.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as a agree with that, and I always have. It's just so that's my point. Like all of us would, as long as they do it right, would basically be okay with the other ship as long as they do it right. It's not like we hate either of them. So it's really funny. It was hilarious for us in our Discord server where we aren't stupid morons and take things and analyze them rather than just blow up, to watch what happened to the Black Sun and Bumblebee shippers when this song came out, and then when Like Morning Follows Night came out, because when Bumblebee was announced and the people saw the lyrics, like, all the Bumblebee shippers like, oh my god, Bumblebee confirmed, and then all the Black Sun shippers like, it's about the bike.
Most of the Black Sun shippers were like, the songs aren't canon.
Yeah. And both of them, all of those statements.
The people who said it was about the bike were just purposely being a troll. Like,
most of them. But
I speculated for a couple of minutes until we got the sample of lyrics. Yeah.
All of those things are technically wrong because why the songs aren't literally canon, and actually at times I would argue that they are literally canon, because I don't know, the Mirror Mirror series is pretty literally canon. Boop is quite literally canon. I would argue that probably Divide is pretty literally canon also. Like, there's a lot of songs that are very literally canon, so that's not an argument. That's
even
not
if
true.
Jeff says they aren't.
Yeah, he's lying. He's lying.
Yeah.
Here's
Like,
the
he
thing.
literally said, I'm never literal. There's nothing to take literally.
Yeah, I think he's
That he
trolling
hasn't
everybody.
written a song specifically for a particular character. That is bullshit.
That is
Boop,
bullshit.
boop,
Yeah.
boop,
That he
boop,
just
boop,
writes
boop,
songs
boop.
and then makes them fit, and he's like, just enjoy is what he says about it. But
I mean, I could see him saying that given the answer I got when I asked about the boop themes that he used again. He's the funny dude. Like, he knows what he's doing. He's fucking with everybody. Exactly. He's fucking with everybody the whole time. He gave me an I can't say yes, but I'm not going to say no answer.
Yeah, he can't say, but we all know.
But anyway, the point is that really they're all wrong about that, and really all the Black Suntroopers had to say was, okay, yeah, Blake likes Yang, but that doesn't really, or Yang likes Blake, but that doesn't really matter, and it's still less evidence than Black Sun, which that's the fact. And then they didn't even have to blow up, because then Like Morning Follows Night came, and that's one of the shippiest ship songs that ever shipped.
Exactly.
You know what's funny though?
Honestly, it's arguably more shippy than Boop is, and that's coming from a huge fanboy. It's arguably more shippy than Boop because it's from both of their point of views. So it's really funny that like the Black Sunshippers were going overboard. Like, you guys didn't even need to. You didn't even need to.
You just had to wait and just say, like Morning Follows Night was better.
Yeah, like Morning Follows Night. Oh, look, it's a better song lyrically, musically, in every way, and it's more shippy and everything.
Yeah, that was me when
I've never seen on Amino, at least I've never seen any Black Sun shippers going, "Hey, our ship is canon. Look at Morning Follows Night." Like, nobody's like pushing that, and instead, all of the Bumblebee shippers are like, "Look, we're canon now," and it's funny because the Black Sun song has more to do with the actual show. Shows both of their perspective. Shows a very interesting relationship where there's Sun trying to support Blake through her stupid bullshit, and also telling her that, you know, what she's doing is bullshit. And then it's like generic love song that was written after the soundtrack was completed just for fun, apparently is more canon.
Yeah, exactly. I listened to like Morning Follow. Yeah, when the soundtrack came out, I listened to like Morning Follows Night, and I was just like, I typed this in on RWBY and Beyond, our Facebook page. I was all like, yeah, Black Sun wins this round.
Yeah,
that's all Black Sun shippers needed to do. They just needed to say, we have the better song.
Yep. And they retained their larger canon evidence also. Like, you don't have to say anything more.
Morning Follows Night, like, a lot of the lyrics come directly from the conversation they had in an episode too, so it's like, come on, people.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, though, I still hold a shitload of stock in the songs and their lyrics because, like I said, Jeff understands these characters more than the fucking writers do.
Oh, it definitely feels that way, yeah.
Because, so, I would still argue that this still does add some canon evidence to Bumblebee, just because it does hint that Yang does actually have feelings for Blake. If you add it up with her lines in Armed and Ready and everything else that happened, you can argue.
So the love triangle is confirmed.
There is definitely a good evidence. And the love triangle is arguably confirmed. And honestly, that's what I care about, because I honestly don't care who wins. I just want to see a straight, a bisexual love triangle done well, and I think it could be done well, because if there's one thing RWBY has consistently done well as a show, it's actually the relationships and the romance. They are, and I've said this a bunch of times, they pace them out, they don't jump the gun, they don't jump the shark, they don't overly focus on romance, they don't do the Attack on Titan bullshit and just cock tease you like fucking retards. They actually give you some payoff for most of them. They actually address it, you know? They don't do the anime thing where like one character's in love with another character and they completely keep them clueless for the entire time. Because as we've seen, Jean did kiss Pyrrha, or Pyrrha kissed Jean and he reciprocated at least. and Ren is clearly showing signs of feelings for Nora now. So they don't do the bullshit that animes always do, which is actually one of the things I hate most about anime. Attack on Titan. And so that's actually something that RWBY is, and we've talked about this before. The thing that RWBY does better than anything, and actually better than a lot of shows that are better than it overall, is individual character moments and one-on-one character moments.
Yeah,
Alley,
definitely.
Actually. Yeah. So if any show could actually do a love triangle and make it not hateable and actually make it interesting, I think RWBY could do it. So that's really what I'm excited about more than anything, is the fact that they could actually do a decent love. Well, then we could just have Banana Split and everybody will be happy. Or what's the one that most people call it that's way worse of a name than Banana Split?
I have no idea.
Something Bees?
Sunny Bees?
Sunny Bees, which doesn't even make sense. I'm sorry.
It rhymes with Sunny D. No, it doesn't, but it sounds like Sunny D. So...
But Banana Split is funnier, and it's more of an innuendo, and it's
just that's why I like it.
And also, musically, it's actually a pretty good song. Like, it's a fun kind of
decent.
Pop song.
Yeah,
it's a decent pop song. It's better than a couple of the other ones. It's not as good as Boop. It's not as good as... It's amazing musically. It's not as good as Shine or...
You're cutting out again.
Right after it, I think I actually... Oh.
Sorry.
How about now?
Better.
It's not as good as...
Oh, nope, there you go again. I think you were saying it's not as good as Shine? Maybe?
Yeah, it's not as good as Shine. It's not as good as Dream Come True. It's not as good as Boop. It's arguably not as good as Neon either, but it's definitely better than Not Fall in Love with You. And it's a fun kind of groovy pop song. It's got a good beat to it, and I like it. Like, the lyrics, if you don't listen to the lyrics, it's a good song that I definitely want to listen to when I'm listening to my other RWBY songs, you know? Not that the lyrics are bad, but they're harmless, you know?
Yeah, and even the lyrics are okay.
I'm glad it's there, though. I'm glad it's there just because at least we got one poppier song on the album that's decent, you know, and whereas most everything else is like so much more intense or wanna be intense.
So, yeah.
Sure, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. That's something that makes me like it more too. So,
yeah.
Let's Just Live is really upbeat.
It's upbeat. It's just not poppy. It's still like a rockier song. Like,
yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, I mean, this was a very good soundtrack. I'm glad it's better than the Volume 3 one. Not that the Volume 3 one was bad at all. There's a couple bad. Like one song that's actually you could argue is kind of bad, but all the other ones, none of them are bad. They're all good, or you know, it's just. Jeff's highs are really, really high, and he's consistently his low points generally aren't terrible. Like, I probably won't always skip Bad Luck Charm. It's not a bad song. I'll probably skip it a couple times, but it's not like I always skip Not Fall in Love with You when it comes up, basically.
Yeah, and I'll always skip Lucis Nature.
Yeah, I probably will always skip that one too. But I mean, the highs on this soundtrack were so high. Like Let's Just Live, Like Morning Falls Night, not Bad Luck Charm. Sorry, This Life is Mine, and Home.
Yeah,
I just all such high. Yeah, for me, I don't think anything beats Volume 2 though. I just don't think anything can beat Volume 2.
Yeah, Volume 2 is tough to beat.
It really is.
It is,
and not just because it has Boop, but for many other reasons.
It has several good songs.
And Sacrifice and Time to Say Goodbye.
Sacrifice and Shine, Dream Come True. I mean, and the opening song is still really good, even though it's like not the best of all of them. It's still really good. I still listen to it every time, like as a song, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's all we have to say. The acoustic version of Boop is really good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although, I think you're the one who said this, that they just use the same audio track for the vocals as the original. That disappointed
me, but Boop is so great that I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah, I'm still more into the Boop songs that he used, like the Boop themes he used in the.
Oh yes.
Yeah, no, I'm that anyway.
I don't like any of the like remixes. on any of the
soundtracks.
soundtracks.
We don't
care for this.
The only ones we're talking about are like the non introvert, like the non-trailer versions. I always prefer the non-trailer versions, but I wouldn't consider them a remix.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about like on this album, there's a remix of "Sacrifice" and a remix of "I May Fall" by Harry Loads, and
Eh.
No, I agree.
Meh.
Yeah, that's about right. Meh.
Yeah. Never into the remixes. I haven't liked a single one of them. I try them once, never like them, and move on and never listen to them again. That's big. So, but yeah, the soundtracks are pretty awesome. They're fun, and like, as we've said, they are one of the things that achieve what their aims better than the actual show does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They do good work. Yeah. Jeff Williams is, he does a lot of. He does a lot for this show. Wow.
There's a lot for the stuff for the show. Casey Lee Williams' voice is amazing.
Yes.
And,
Yep.
Yeah, and shout outs to the other people who work on the scores, like Alex Abraham. Their scores are very good too, and they do keep getting better. They bring back the themes very well, and yeah, it's great. So the music is definitely one of RWBY's strong points, and it really helps the show.
Steve Goldsheen is the other one who's done score stuff. He did score stuff for Volume 2 and I think Volume 1. And then Alex Abraham took over for Volume 3 and 4.
Yeah. We've actually had the chance to talk to Alex Abraham before.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he was on here before.
Yeah.
We just never managed to get him on a podcast.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Nice dude.
So if that's wrapped up. It's time for sellout time.
Which media actually manages to intersperse throughout the entire podcast.
Yep.
Very good.
It's not shameless if your friends do it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, it helps that I do a fucking lot for this fandom.
Yes, you do.
So, if you like this video and you want to hear us talk more, please check out, if you haven't already, the first part of this podcast, for Volume 1 and 2 soundtrack. Oh. And also, all of our other podcasts, all my other videos, MIS, coming July 4th, will be my next... Maybe my next video, I might do one in between there, depending on, because I think I might do another, fun little video essay, because I could crank those out in, 2 days' time.
Yeah.
I also do fan fiction. By the time this is up, RWBY on Generations will be starting back up with its daily release schedule, and Guardians of Terra, the first arc, is halfway through. What else do I have on? You can support me on Patreon. You could join all of us on the Facebook page, RWBY and Beyond. Links will be in the description, as usual. So, yeah, that's all I got.
I draw stuff.
You draw very well.
Hey, most of my RWBY stuff I put on RWBY Amino, though, just to not crowd my DeviantArt with RWBY stuff. I also have YouTube, where I put speed paints of said RWBY art, but if you want more RWBY-centric stuff, my RWBY Amino is where you can find it. And same name, Kitty-Kirishima, so, yeah. Lots of Lancaster if you like it. Not my only ship, though.
Because Renora's life.
Yes. I'm thinking, that Renora picture I shared, I'm thinking of fully coloring it.
Oh, that'd be great. I like that one a lot.
Yes.
I don't have really anything to plug. I'm going to Japan this weekend, which is partly why we squeezed these two in so close together, these two podcasts. But I'm gonna be trying to make what I just found out, thanks to Toon Radio, our unofficial but really official news correspondent here on our Discord server and on our RWBY and Beyond Facebook page. So if you want to keep up with RWBY news, just Facebook page, because Toon Radio is always posting all the RWBY news all the time.
Yep.
Very good at that.
Yep.
And but I will be trying to make what I found out is there's going to be a RWBY panel with cast and crew, and maybe actually, hopefully, maybe do some signings afterwards. I've never actually met anybody from Rooster Teeth, and I guess hopefully, I guess a teaser trailer or something for Volume 5, which I might be able to report on in some way if I can make it Monday morning, which is literally the day I come back jet lagged as fuck from Japan. But I'm gonna do my darndest.
Don't kill yourself.
And that's how you can tell I'm serious. I didn't even curse. I said darndest. I'm gonna do my darndest to get there. You know I'm serious when I don't cuss. Okay. So I'm gonna try to make it to that and see if I can get any information.
Yeah, and we'll report on that when we do our next podcast, which I believe will also be a Chibi podcast.
Yeah, I think next one is going to be a Chibi podcast, which I'll have to speed gobble Chibi up when I get back from Japan. But it'll be fine. It's not that long. So.
Yep. Then I'm going to be working on convert. So if you want to get to know me better, if you go on to RWBY Republic, or if you're on our Facebook group, RWBY and Beyond, I have several lists there and little essays that, in my effort to educate the fandom and stuff like that. But I'm also looking to convert some of those, at least one of those, into a video essay. Kitty, I'll talk to you about that later. I know you volunteered to help
I'm
voice
still
that
waiting
stuff.
on this.
All right, I'm sorry about that. I've been
some
figuring
stuff
things out, and
just in case.
Yeah, I'll try and get you this moment.
I also have some volunteers. Also, not me because I'm a guy, but I think I might have some people if you need them also, because I really, really want to hear that as it converted into a video, because that's my favorite post of yours ever.
Question: do any of you guys think you can do a good Ren voice?
I could do a Ren voice. I bet you could. I can do
Jean, anyone?
Yeah.
I can do Jean.
Yeah, Media can do Jean.
Hi, Media.
Yeah. I would love to do
Ren. I can pull off a Nora and RWBY because
there we go.
They're kind of very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to be looking to convert one of those into a video essay, and also working on another one right now that I've recorded my own voice for, and I just need to edit it together. So hopefully those will be coming out soon. But yeah, thank you.
The editing struggle is real.
If you don't know a lot about RWBY and you're into it and you want to learn more, definitely join our RWBY and Beyond Facebook group, because Media and Robert definitely know more than you. And if you know a lot about RWBY and you think you understand RWBY better than anyone, Robert and Media still know more than you, and you would learn a lot by listening to what they say.
Or reading.
And I also supply a lot of the and beyond stuff to our Facebook page with like my top 10 stuff.
I mean, the most important, you must pay tribute to our Lord and Savior J.K. Simmons. That is very important.
Yes.
You know.
Yep.
I occasionally post art earlier there.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything I do, I post that. RWBY and Beyond is the first place I post it. So anyway, that's enough of the selling out. That's it. Have a good day.
Thank you all very much.
Bye.